So with that, we'll get it started, man. So today it's a good guest for myself, man. Fucking local from the Sick Kids.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? For me, it's good, man, because you're actually like the first group, like the first people that growing up that I knew a group coming from San Jose.
All right.
From when I grew up, it was more of a San Jose had a gangster vibe to it. It still kind of does, right? But it was Killer Sharks. Was it NGN? It was like that was the main rap coming from San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started messing with this dude over here, he introduced me to your music. The whole I had you on cassette, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
I was having that shit on
That was
cassette.
our first project, man. The first EP. When that I think 98, 2000, something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because I started listening. Yeah, right. 2000.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Like a lot of those compilations that were coming out from San Jose.
Yeah.
I actually try to get on those.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would submit my music. I would show up to studios like this, to where the producers that were putting all the compilations together, and I would literally dudes would come in. Here's my music. If they didn't have it, they wouldn't do anything. And a lot of times I'll be like, hey man, I got instrumentals I can spit right here for you if you want. And a lot of times they'd be like, are you sure? I don't want to put you on the spot. And I go, nah, man, I just
Kinda
want you to get the flavor.
Yeah.
And I would do it for them. But then they'd be like, we'll get back to you. And, long story short, years later, folks that were on those compilations, they actually told me, it was better you didn't even get on.
You can jump. Yeah, because it would have given you your name a different ring when people listen to certain things.
And the flavor was different, the rhymes were different.
Yeah, because your guys was more of like I would compare more like an East Coast, maybe like popping, like breaking, kind of, like more like, more of a like the boom bap.
Yeah,
that's the shit I love to, and maybe that's probably why I like the music now, because I listen to like the Vinny Paz's and the self-titled Apathies and stuff like that. So I mean, that's where kind of I feel you guys probably shaped and molded that out. Like, what was it, that one, the best, not the best one, but it was
the one that got to you.
People, yeah, it was people wearing masks like it's the 31st.
Oh, like it's the 31st. Yeah, people in disguises.
Yeah, people disguise like it's the 31st. Yeah, so that right there, it changed different, because I was listening to more like not really like the Cypress Hills and stuff, but I'm saying the San Jose vibe. You broke it out to where it wasn't that you didn't have to be a gangster. You don't have to, you could relate to. It's more of a lyricist. That's I think you introduced more of the lyricist vibe to it. And shit, for that, I thank you, sir.
Thank you for still remembering that shit, man. It was such a long time. It's dope, to run into people and they still, talk about the music that, sometimes they even rap some of the fact they remember some of the lyrics.
Like, I don't even remember that shit.
that's the dope. I mean, as soon as you say it, it triggers everything back, and it's like it motivates you to keep going.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because sometimes, it can be unmotivating when you think nobody's listening. It's cool when people hear your music here and there, but when people are really listening, that's I'm done, man. That's like best feeling in the world.
It makes a world of a difference, right? Yeah. You actually touch somebody than just people, because a lot of people can listen to, but no one's really like hearing you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's cool, man. So how's it now? How you feel?
It's a trip. I just this earlier today, I was at the city of San Jose has a program called Digital Arts, and right there we will bring in kids that are trying to learn how to make beats, recording studio, anything that has to do with digital arts. They want to do podcasts. A lot of the kids, you tell them about video editing and about photography and just miking stuff like that, and they're like, that's not really what I want to do, whatever. But then they're doing their little podcasts, they're doing their YouTube stuff, and then you tell them,
you integrate that.
That has, that's video editing right there, for real. And then you introduce them in there. But I was just there earlier, and one of the instructors there told this young lady that was, learning how to use a production program, and the little girl said, "Yeah, I listen to lo-fi music." And when I asked her, I go, "What is lo-fi?" And the stuff that we were doing back in the days, that's what they consider lo-fi, because of the type of sound. And I was like, you know what? That's dope. You guys call that, because it would say that on the cassettes you would buy back in the days.
Oh shit, that's right.
It would say lo-fi because the type of sound.
Was that the type of quality, right? Because it sounded not quality, but the
quality of the sound back then, and then on top of that, that's just the sound, like when they talk about some of the rappers that were from like my era back in the days in the 90s, late 80s. um that's what they consider lo-fi. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And that's what they call it. Yeah, I listened to a lot of lo-fi and I was like, what's that? You know,
That's
thought it was
crazy.
gonna be some other crazy
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
some crazy mumble rap stuff. And then she's like, no, it's this. I go, oh damn. And I showed her my video. Yeah, that's lo-fi right there. And I was like, oh, okay.
So it's
So it's kinda
crazy.
like the boom bap
Yeah, okay,
era,
okay,
all
that's
that
cool. So do you
stuff.
think that kind of like everything kind of makes a circle, right? 'Cause I
It,
think people get tired, like like the mumble rap. That's the
mhm.
first thing you kind of thought, right? Like, oh shit, it's gonna be some kind
and,
of mumble
and I
rap.
don't diss it. I
No,
don't
no,
diss it
yeah,
100%. I mean,
like 90%.
I think I definitely think they could work on it,
Yeah.
but it's like some that dude that I don't even know his name, but they people always talk shit about him because in an interview he was like, man, I don't give a shit about the old school fools or anything like that. That
Yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
the only thing he said wrong. As far as his music and all that stuff and being mumble rap and all that stuff, like it's whatever. You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, if you're paying so much for his music, how much
That's
effort is he putting
yeah,
into it?
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
That's
mean? But
true.
he's charging you top dollar. But I mean, it is what it is.
But that's
You
on
know
the
what I mean?
consumer more, right? Like if
Yeah,
you're willing, if that's you willing to do it, like that's not his fault that he makes that music.
yeah. I
It's
mean, like some of
your
those
fault. You're
beats are
buying it.
dope. The mumbling stuff. It's almost like I hear like another instrument in the song. I don't hear it as
That's true.
lyrics.
You can look at it that way.
And
That's another way to look at it.
you could go back to James Brown, man. Like that dude was mumbling a lot. You know what I mean? And his music was dope.
Yeah,
You
true. But
know
he didn't. But he was a. But then I think what people have trouble with is the rap label on top of it, right?
the fact that corporations label it as
As
hip hop,
rap, as hip hop,
hip
as
hop,
you know, yeah, as hip hop.
and
So
they try to reward them the same as you would reward another MC that would really take his time in the studio and put something out. I mean,
everything
not
into
necessarily with the message, but he put some
put
work
the
into
time
the
into
music.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's for for the lyrics to actually
and
sound.
the disrespect that comes with it. You know what I mean? When somebody says, "Man, I don't give a shit about no old school fools and blah blah blah," these motherfuckers paved the way
Wait
for
for
you,
you could
and
so you can mumble.
yeah, so
That's,
that
yeah,
somebody
yeah, yeah.
would call it something.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
true.
mean? But that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of DJs, a lot of other young dudes coming up that are into the new stuff. And they're coming out with new kind of music. But what's cool is that when you chop it up with them, like on the side or whatever, dude, those dudes know about all the dudes that came before them.
That's true.
And they pay them respect and everything, and they'll tell you, hey, we do what we do because we're trying to get on,
Yeah.
and and
Yeah, that's true.
they're
That's
not
true
gonna be
too.
able to
It's
get
like
on
having
if they
it's
don't
like
do
a
that.
clickbait, right? It's like the
Yeah,
whole like you have to go that way in order to kind of get the looks on you. Because
yeah,
that's what most guests too. Most people that we have on, they talk about like it's mainly where like the money's at, but what the ladies like,
yeah,
right? And
and
for
it's
instance, a lot of ladies are not going to be too crazy on kind of bars you just spit. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like they want something they could dance to, something they got
and that's why cats like Big Pun. Well, Big Pun never gets any credit, man.
Big Pun was
Like
sad.
that you always hear Tupac, you always hear Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And those
Yeah,
dudes were
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
But like
But
Pun always gets left behind.
he
But
did, he did.
and I think there's a little thing about Latinos and
Because he's
hip hop,
Latino. That's what I said. Because he's
and
Latino.
not just like because you're Mexican or anything, but even like our Afrocentric folks, like our Cuban, Puerto Rican folks. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's because they're Latino. Sometimes they don't get that much
They don't
love.
get
You
that.
know what
Yeah,
I mean?
they don't get that much play because
But
It's like they labeled it. They label it Latin rap, right?
yeah, it's not even
Hip
rap.
hop.
It's
It's not
Latin
hip
rap.
hop. It's not hip hop. It's Latin hip hop.
well,
Hmm.
back in the days, man, like shout out to my boy Danny out there, man. He used to be at KSJS, and I remember one time he was playing some like stuff that back in the days we used to call high energy, like Lisa and the Co
Hmm.
Jam stuff
Hmm.
like that. And he would tell me, "Oh, that's Latin hip hop," and I'm like,
How the fuck is that
"How's
Latin
that
hip
Latin
hop?
hip hop?" But that's what it was labeled back then.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, there was no Cypress Hill back then. Still, it was
Barely coming up.
barely surfing up, and like folks like Control Machete out of Mexico were barely like
Mm-hmm.
you know coming out too. You know what I mean? And so like you would. I mean, there was times when I'd be like in my car driving, and I'd be bumping some Cypress Hill, and even like House of Pain was labeled as like Latin hip hop.
That's true, and
Eh,
that's weird too. Considering I wouldn't even
Wasn't he a
consider
white
that.
guy?
it's
Yeah,
just
it's well, he's a white dude. He's a white
he's
dude, right?
Irish.
Yeah, it's the Everlast.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Everlast. He's Irish,
Everlast.
and
He's
yeah,
Irish, but he got labeled that I think
he's brown at
because
heart, bro. 'Cause he's showing nothing but Chicanos.
yeah,
That fool showing nothing but Chicanos. He's
yeah, that
part of
dude's
the. He's what is it? The Soul Assassins and all.
yeah, he's part of the
Yeah,
Soul Assassins, which was like Funk Dubious, House of Pain, Cypress Hill.
see,
All,
that's how I feel like your flavor comes from, like
well,
that.
all those dudes had a big influence on
Yeah,
me,
see, and
man.
that's exactly how I felt. Like that's
Like I
where
was, I
the
was,
vibe come from.
I was rapping before too, and like sometimes when I hear some of the, the rap from some of my gangster brothers, you know what I mean, and with all due respect, a lot of times I'm like, hey man, that's cool. You rap about where you at, you know. If I don't do that stuff, I'm not gonna rap about it,
Yeah,
even if I wanted to. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But that's not what I do. If I did that, then maybe I talk about it, you know. But
Yeah.
and also the skills, you know. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, when I hear stuff like that, I usually tell my boys like, yeah, I used to rap like that in junior high, I think. You know what I mean? And then I I didn't just stick to one thing. I try to expand my mind to it. I mean,
Yeah.
the Cypress Hill record. I mean, I started out b-boying and stuff and popping and stuff. I thought I was dope,
She still
but
got it.
I thought I was dope and shit. I thought I was nice, but from there I got into DJing, and I
Okay.
remember that Cypress Hill record. I just bought it because of the label, because of the cover.
The which
I
one was
liked it. The
the
first one,
Temple of was it the Temple of Boom?
no, that's
The second one.
that was the second one. The first one, I
Check out
think it
first. What was
was
the cover of the first one?
because I think it was they had that song "How I Could Just Kill a Man" on it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
How
know if
could
that
you
was
just
the
kill a
title,
man?
or I think it was titled Cypress Hill.
I think it was
Wasn't
like Cypress Hill with the one with the skull. With
Yeah,
the
the
skull
little
on
red
there with the
skull.
little yeah,
I
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that and
That
I
was
was like,
fucking
damn,
sick.
dude, I'm gonna grab this real quick. And then I would DJ, and I didn't get into MCing until I got bored of just mixing,
Mm-hmm.
and I would flip the records because they always came with an instrumental on the other side,
Oh shit. Right
and
on.
I would basically do my own little mix tapes
Mm-hmm.
with other people's beats because I didn't make no beats or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I would take
So
people's
that's the mixing and all
instrumentals
that stuff.
and I would remix them, kind of like what like the what's that one? That song "I Want to Sex You Up." You know that one old school roll up. Yeah, I remember I flipped it and I called it Yo Te Quiero Chingar or something like that, and I would just put it on my little tapes, and then my friends would just make copies and pass them out.
Just
And
pass them out. Yeah. So that's how I mean that's how it started, right? The whole mixing and stuff. Yeah, that
yeah,
is the
that
one.
was. I think it is called Cypress Hills,
Cypress
isn't it?
Hill. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, damn, that's
Yeah,
sick.
see, that was sick. Cause I mean, and what's cool, cause I think they probably would never made it big too. Cause I heard so B Real when he came out, he first came out. I think he tried to rap normal,
Hmm.
cause he has like a wheezy, not a wheezy, but more of
Like
a
that nasal
yeah,
sounding
yeah.
voice.
So I guess when he first started, he didn't have that, and they had told him that they liked his rhymes and everything, but he didn't have nothing unique about him, so he had to come up with that way to rap. Cause if not, they were gonna make him the ghostwriter for Sen Dog.
Mm.
Cause Sen Dog had that whole Son Dog, the
Yeah,
whole fucking that hype kind of hype voice
yeah, yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah. That was pretty dope. So then he had to make up that whole kind of like nasal thing to get him in it. And I think
Hmm.
if he didn't do that, Cypress Hill probably wouldn't even. I mean, cause Sen Dog is good, don't get me wrong, but I think
Hmm.
Bureau kind of puts in
Well, yeah, I mean,
a different flavor to it.
because they were in that like that whole thing that kind of like Public Enemy started,
Yeah,
where they would have a hype band, which was Flavor Flav. You know what
yeah,
I mean? His
yeah.
energy,
That's true.
and honestly, like I remember I seen a couple shows from Cypress Hill, and when Sen Dog was in there, like you missed that motherfucker. You're just like, what the heck?
Where's Sen Dog
And
at?
and a lot of actually a lot of the writing that and a lot of support that they got was from my boy Mellow Man Ace, man. Shout out to Mellow Man
Mellow
Ace.
Mayonnaise
He's
sounds
that
familiar.
he came out with that song Mentirosa.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He's one of our Latin hip
Mentirosa,
hop
yeah. It's like,
godfathers. Him and Kid Frost, man.
mm-hmm.
Those dudes rocked it. Shout out to Kid Frost. Shout out to Mellow Man Ace, man. Cause a lot of us motherfuckers wouldn't even thought of picking up the mic, man, if it wasn't for those dudes. You heard him and it's like, damn, that shit does sound nice. You know what
Yeah,
I
no, it
mean?
did, it
Rapping in
did.
Spanish, it doesn't sound crazy when people would look at us crazy. You
What
know,
the fuck was this we're talking about?
you
Yeah, it actually
know.
made it like proper.
Yeah. So
Made it seem like
cats like that. And he was a writer a lot. Well, that's N Dog's brother, Mellow Man Ace.
Oh, is it? Oh shit, I didn't
Mhm.
know that.
Yeah, they came out an album a while back called the Reyes Brothers.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
Oh, shit, I'm about to check that shit out. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I didn't know. I
Yeah,
just because I've always liked Sendog. I wrote Sendog was fucking sick.
you can catch even too some of the because Be Real and them they were all poppers and breakers. They were all b boys,
That's how they all started.
and you can see videos. There's one video I forgot what it's called from LMNA's where you can see Be Real in the back. He's a
All
dancer.
popping and shit.
Yeah, he's a
See, that's
dancer
cool.
in
I
the back.
think that to me is a good like era to grow up in. Is I think your era, like the whole like poppy and all that shit. I don't think that's the same anymore. I think like now it's because now you had like a whole that's like a genre, like a thing. Like you know what I mean? Like you could go like in your school, like half the dudes are poppers and shit, half the dudes.
Yeah,
You know, now it's like just little clicks. You know what I mean? It's probably always been like that, but I think just with music in general, because you never like when is the next time you're gonna see some people just meeting up to battle one time?
well, it's like it's even like with hip hop. You know, a lot of people talk about all the stuff they hear on the radio, all the stuff like you were saying that catches light, and the stuff you need to do in order to be in the limelight is the stuff that don't get no respect. And people say like, oh, hip hop is dead, all that stuff. But hip hop, the culture,
Mm-hmm.
not the corporations turned it into a genre,
Mm-hmm.
but it was never a genre. It was a
It's a
culture
culture.
that's still around. It still exists. It's just that the folks that dig, you know what I mean, like how you were naming a few folks earlier.
Mm-hmm.
When you dig into the music that's not in the limelight, that
You'll find it.
still stays true to the culture, and you find it. There's still stuff like that that's happening where like there's b-boy competitions here and there. I was just in shout out to the Zulu Nation too, man. That all my SJ Zulu brothers and shit from out here. Um, when I was out in Mexico, I connected with Zulu dudes out in Leon, Guanajuato, out there, and they're doing it big time
So
too,
the
man.
Zulu, so they're black dudes, right? Or has
That's
this
everything.
everything in it? Oh,
It's
what is
universal.
it? So what is in this? What is so is it? What
Zulu
exactly is it? Yeah.
Zulu is
Now,
everybody.
okay.
Zulu. I mean, like
So I thought Zulu Nation would
we
be more
we're probably gonna need like a couple weeks in order for me to
to break
even
it
break
down.
everything
To
down
break
to
it
you.
down,
But just in a
just to dumb it down to people
well, just
for
short.
dumb guys, me, like me,
You know what I mean?
like me over here,
When
who like to talk shit. For dumb guys who like to talk shit.
when when hip hop wasn't even anything, wasn't when it wasn't even called hip hop, because it didn't have a name,
Mm-hmm.
and that culture was brewing up. It wasn't anything. So, people would throw parties, people would throw dances, and folks like Cool Herc would be out there in the park hooking up his equipment and just playing music, and everybody would come out and you know get on the mic and start rapping,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was this dude observing everything, and he got that after from one of my dude from one what one of my dudes told me is that he was watching the movie Shaka Zulu or something
Shaka
like
Zulu
that. I still haven't seen it.
sounds about something for me.
I still haven't seen it.
That's why I
And
kind of related to. I was about to
from
say
there,
to the Zulu Nation
yeah, from there
and
he got
like the poppers
inspired.
and stuff, right? They're turning to that, or how do they
Well,
go?
Shaka Zulu was a story about something that was going on in Africa. I apologize for not watching the movie yet, but this dude named Africa Bambaataa actually watched it or something like that, and from there he got inspired
That's what he made his
to
over here up in
come
Oakland and
back.
all that, right?
He saw how in New York everything was crazy, gangs were fighting each other. If you were to throw a party like I don't know, like in the South Side right here,
Mm-hmm.
um, folks from like the West Side couldn't come, or
Mm.
or the
So
East Side couldn't
really
come.
diverse. It was really
Yeah, something.
segregated themselves and shit by
Yeah,
their own.
people were just like gangs.
Yeah,
That
yeah, by your sides.
that was it. And so what this dude did, he pulled all the shot callers from all the gangs and brought everybody together. And after a few times of meeting with them, he got everybody together to become one thing, which is the Zulu Nation.
Mm.
And and basically after that happened, folks can throw parties and they would get a pass
Because
to go over there. So now you as a DJ, you would have fans from all
from
over
there
the
all over. Oh,
place.
okay, that's cool.
And then
So it made it more like a little communal thing.
yeah, because Bambaataa actually told everybody like, look, this is what's happening. When you're breakdancing over there,
Mm-hmm.
when you're b-boying and stuff, that's you're part of a culture, you're part of something. And what is it? When he would look at the boys, that were like writing on the walls.
Taggers,
You
that's a
know,
culture too.
yeah, just putting up the big.
The
They
murals, the
used to call them.
bombers.
They used to call them bombs and stuff. And he would tell them like, "Hey, you guys are doing something too over here." The MCs were over here doing something. The DJs, and he started telling them, "You guys are four elements that are part of one culture." Well, what culture is it? And I guess um, they just came up with that,
What?
calling it hip hop.
Oh, okay. Oh shit.
And it was just something that just birthed it from there
And just grew.
and just grew. And then folks started learning about this, and then there was a couple dudes that would like travel around, and they would see the stuff that we were doing out here, and they would see that we were for the culture. Like I used to throw a lot of b-boy events, a lot of events at teen centers and stuff like that, because that's what I could afford.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't afford no
Shit.
big venue.
Party's a party.
You know what I mean? And when people would catch wind that we were supporting the culture of hip hop, because we would also teach kids, about something,
Mhm.
especially like these little gangs that are out there, these kids that are in these gangs, because
Mhm.
they want to belong to something, because they feel like they don't belong to anything.
Yeah.
They're looking for acceptance, and what they do, even though it's looked as negative, they don't do it for negative reasons. You
They're
know
doing
what
it
I
for the
mean?
positive. Yeah, they want to belong, right?
The dude that sells drugs, he's doing it because he's feeding his family.
Mm-hmm.
The dude that that's robbing and stealing is trying to get some money in his pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the dude that's just straight gangbanging, flashing his colors in his hood, he's defending his neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a positive thing towards it. I mean, if he was a country or a president, it'd be okay, right?
Yeah, because the presidents do the same thing,
It'd
right?
be all right. They do the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I mean? But since he's this little dude in the neighborhood, it's not okay. And because it's okay if it stays in the neighborhood, but once it starts, I don't know, affecting, like, I don't know, I'm gonna say Willow Glen. Once it starts affecting that backyard over there,
yeah,
the dude that
the more
votes and pays his taxes and all that
the more
stuff,
privileged
like,
side, or the more money side.
yeah, it's like, hey,
yeah.
now we gotta do something about it. But
isn't that? I mean, doesn't that kind of suck that you would say it's more accepted, right? Like for example, you say if it stays in the neighborhood, right? Is it because it's more accepted in the neighborhood? That because you're not going to get the person calling in complaining about that the
because
gangsters in the neighborhood. I think that also that's like it's a double-edged sword. Even like with the raza too. I think it's accepted, like, oh, we don't want to call the cops. We don't want to be like this. It's and I think it kind of like backfires on them too. Like,
I think it's different. It's a different reason why our people don't call the cops. A lot of it has to do with the traumas they probably had as young kids, and that they had as grown up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because
but I mean, even today though, like even today's society, like when you hear if some why do you talk so white, right? When I heard people say that, like,
oh, this
well,
was
why are you
whitewash.
talking how to white? But like, what's white? Proper English? Like, what's what I mean? Like stuff like that is like, well, then now you're just kind of setting yourself down too as as a people in general, not as a raza, but just in general though.
You mean like kind of like when people try to make you feel dumb, or the other way around, try to make you feel like you're not cool if you're not dumb, if you don't talk dumb.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, something like like if you're not part of the same as the usual, if you're not the stereotype.
And that's the thing though, you know what I mean? Like,
because I know you, my bad, but I know you do a lot of like with like outreach, right?
Yeah, I'm out there in schools and
so that's actually interesting to me to see like how your opinion is how they're growing up. Because I think before, like say now with gangs, before it was more like more of a necessity, right? Like the gangs, people growing into gangs more to protect themselves from other people and the poverty and but I think nowadays with the use of so much technology around you, of information at you, watching how other people live, I personally believe that gangs should eventually kind of die down a little bit less. Or how do you feel? Do you think that kind of comes in?
I think the gang, from what I've seen and what I'm seeing, it doesn't go away. It just changes.
How so?
Like for example, the way gangsters used to dress. Just you see it in the clothing. Even though the gang mentality is deeper, it's a mentality. It's not a fashion. You know, but kids nowadays, they be dressing in skinny jeans, tight ass clothes, and wearing rainbow, like looking like that one fool. What's his name? I forgot his name, dude. The Takashi 6 9 guy.
Yeah.
But that's what gangsters look like nowadays. You know what I mean? Even some of the like how the rappers, those little I don't know why it's in right now. It's just the
Tattoos
little
everywhere.
tattoos on the face and stuff like that.
Fucking shit.
I was gonna bring this up, but I seen it on here. It's called the rise of sad rap in hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of show like a different artists that kind of like this guy. He fucking overdosed on what was it? Some kind of fucking drug, bro.
On everything, on like anxiety. Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Fucking.
the thing is, dude, is like our music right now. The music, and I say our music because we're responsible for that shit
It is.
too.
That's our kids.
You know.
Well, I mean, not me, but that's our generation. That's the younger kids growing up. That we essentially. That's what I'm saying. Like as that has, I think that has to do with everything that with now the reach of technology of information, right? Like everybody's watching each other. So depression, I think depression kind of goes up.
But the music when we were growing up, yeah, it was dope and everything. But we still had our music. We still had negative shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had the killing, like the crazy hardcore killing.
We just
stuff.
had doper beats, I think, on them. but and a little bit more effort to it because rappers would tell you about shit and then would tell you the end of the story too. It's just that we would choose to only hear the cool shit, Just like when we watched Scarface,
Yeah, you only watch.
We would look the cool shit, and I'm guilty of that, man. I watched that shit till it gets towards the end. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to see that.
Boring.
I already know, right?
Boring.
But the thing is that like back then our music was drug dealer music. Everybody was slanging, and everybody that heard that music was
slanging,
wanted to be a dope man.
Yeah, that's true.
And the music nowadays is drug user music.
Yeah.
A lot of times if you're not on some shit, you're not gonna feel that. What that dude's saying, and the thing is that like kids aren't just fucking just with weed. I mean, I don't condone the abuse of anything. I'm always straight out with kids. Drugs and I'm diabetic, man. A piece of candy will kill me just as much as
that drug would.
Fucking if I shoot up heroin, you know what I mean? So the thing that I don't condone is the abuse of something. Anything you abuse is gonna fuck you up in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing that sucks is that like even drugs is drugs. Just because Kaiser will sell them to you, or you know what I mean. You can get them at CVS or whatever pharmacy.
Those are probably worse than half the drugs you fucking get off the street.
It's still drugs, and those are the drugs that these kids are overdosing on.
And that's
nobody's made that point. Everybody's still talking about weed. Everybody's still talking about coke. All that stuff's negative, but a lot of the young kids right now are overdosing on like
pharmaceutical.
All this antidepressant stuff. There's a lot of things, like working in the community. I'm part of the gang prevention. They're actually in talks about changing that to make it a more positive name.
Yeah, because that sounds already like
we don't want the kids to get labeled. Well, we don't want the kids to get labeled
already.
Just because I'm working with your son or your daughter, does that mean he's a
gang member now? Yeah.
So that's why they're working on a different name for it. But oh shit! And shout out to Susan Hammer. Our rest in peace. Our mayor. She just our old mayor. She just passed away at the age of 81. If it wasn't for her, man, a lot of motherfuckers like me wouldn't have a legit job right now, man. Like my job, there's actually a title for it. It's
okay.
You know what I mean? Like I grown up, man.
Shout out.
yeah, man. Shout out to her, man. Rest in peace to her, man. Because she made it happen for us. She started that Mayor's Gang Task Force here in San Jose.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And gave a lot of us dudes on the street that weren't doing anything something to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It comes in handy, man. I think that's a really good program to have, though.
And thanks to her, man, a lot of dudes like me are gonna be able to retire, have a pension, and all that stuff, man. So shout out to her, man. But like I was telling you, like
Suzanne Hammer, I didn't know that I'm there. I need to get involved in this shit.
Well, she was the one that was on when I started.
Yeah, I need to get involved in this bitch.
Yeah, so a lot of these gangs nowadays, they just change, because to me, I don't have nothing against gangs. I think gangs are good. It's the activity that they choose to do that's bad.
Yeah,
because you don't need to be in a gang to be involved in
The
those
same
same
activities.
activities.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I mean? You could be a suit and a tie,
And still do the same
and still
exact
do the
thing.
same thing. You know what I mean? But the look of these kids is changing. Um, the drugs that they're using, a lot of them are prescription, drugs. I mean, like, I mean, they've been they've been drinking that stuff even back in our day. What was that the scissor? You
Oh, the
know the
lean and all that stuff.
the
Yeah,
purple
the codeine.
chango.
Yeah,
All that
yeah.
stuff.
Sip of purple
They
chango. Yeah.
you know
Into deep and all. Yeah, it says the lean and all that stuff.
lean
And that
all
was
that
so
stuff.
hard to get. That was so hard to get. You get like I think a pint was like fucking like $5. Like it was so hard to
It's
get. But now you could just get it.
yeah,
Fucking, you're just getting $2
anything that
pills
has
and shit.
codeine
Yeah.
and because I'm involved too with the folks that are part of the task force. I get to find out a lot of the stuff that's
Wait,
out there.
want to grab me, Brewski? You want? And then what happened?
Yeah,
Sorry?
I'll take one.
One. Let's make that two. So.
I'll take one. So
So
when
you're involved with all of the stuff that gets. So I'm pretty sure you're like in the front line. You get like fucking direct.
well we out there in the trenches, man. Like
Yeah, because you were the youngsters.
we're in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. We're more in the schools now because we're a little bit more school based. But a lot of times, I mean, those kids in the schools are out on the streets, so we're out there too.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they're talking about is the Xannies, man. They pretty much tell us not to even open bags or look at stuff because if you touch it or you smell
It
it,
gets in you.
there's actually the Xannies are laced with
The fucking
fentanyl. Fentanyl, yeah.
Yeah. I heard even the coke now is fucking.
Coke.
They're making its way into anything.
Well, they've been cutting coke and all
Coke,
that
they've
stuff with
a
all
lot of
that stuff
shit.
for the longest time
Yeah,
because
but I heard the fentanyl stuff is recent where because now they're actually getting like people are actually just dying like off the bat.
oh yeah,
Like they're just
well it's because they're abusing it like
yeah.
if it didn't have
Like
it.
if it didn't have it,
You
now that it
know?
has it, people
Yeah.
just dropping dead.
Yeah, I mean even with weed, man, I think a lot of those anxiety problems that people have, it comes from that, man. Like
From the weed,
from the weed,
from
man,
smoking so much weed, right?
because I mean it's starting to get regulated,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean so much what do you call it? Pesticides get
Mhm.
sprayed onto it too.
So this is what I'm hearing about.
Chemicals.
Yeah, so I read up on that. So what's happening is, so here in California, so since they legalized it, right? Like or not there's federally, but they
Mhm.
legalized it here, right? So now, if you get caught with a certain amount of weed, it's still a misdemeanor here. So
Mhm.
the cartels, what's happening is the cartels come here, and they're the ones who grow everything into California.
Mhm.
Here you go,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Thank you.
Bro.
Salud, brother, man.
Salud. R.I.P. Susan Hammer.
All right, pieces. Drink for that one.
I don't even know who that was, bro.
Me neither.
Crazy.
My knee was like, oh shit, I need to get involved.
I
Man.
gotta drink.
I need to get involved in my community.
Hey, this is like a Modelo Icy, huh?
Oh yeah, you take those out, right? But they're probably gonna
Ah,
pop in there.
they're gonna blow up. They're gonna
Oh yeah, they're
pop.
probably gonna pop in there.
This is cool right here. It
It's
has to have ice in order
the new
to.
keys right here, bro.
In order to, yeah. In order to, it's a Modelo swirl.
It keeps it nice and cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Yeah. So what happens is, so the cartels, what they're doing now they're bringing out people out here to grow a bunch of stuff in the California hills, forests, and all that stuff, right? So they're the ones spraying everything down. I believe it's fentanyl, because fentanyl also. Hopefully when he comes back, we'll check it. It also kills all the bugs and everything. It keeps it from deers eating the nugs and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
that stuff itself is getting shipped out to everywhere else, Chicago, anywhere that's not California, or anywhere that's not legal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think here, what's the benefit of here? What the club is, it gets tested. It goes through rigorous tests. That's the reason why you go to the club and you get something that's worth on the street $20. You get it for like 40, 45. Right, because you're getting through the tests.
Yeah, they have to pay more people.
Yeah, they have to pay more people in order to get that back to you.
Mhm.
The only downside I say to that is that I think this weed is getting way more stronger. Is no longer your mom and pop, where they were smoking in the back,
Yeah, no.
in the back of the truck. Now it's you're getting like 30%, 35%, 45% THC.
It's like 99%.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, yeah, because you get your people. That's I believe once you're dabbing and all that shit, like wow, you're kind of like abusing the drug already.
You're like Pookie.
Yeah, you're fucking.
It's crazy shit too. I've heard that you can break it down to where it's liquid, and you can get it to where you can to like inject it.
You can inject it. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
just nuts,
You're already
bro.
abusing the fucking drug. Like that to me, you're already
Yeah.
It's another level of fucking getting high, bro.
It's like
fucking pothead.
it's like I always tell folks, I go, hey man, if you don't see the alky and the crackhead in the neighborhood anymore, it's not that your neighborhood's safe, it's that you're the crackhead in the neighborhood. You know, once you start messing with all that stuff, and it reminds me of those old school Cheech and Chong movies, man, where that dude would be like mixing stuff and then with chemicals, and then he starts turning into a lizard and shit.
Oh yeah,
those old school movies.
Yeah.
Or like what's his name, man?
The cop started doing it.
On that Ice Cube movie, what's it called? The Friday.
Yeah,
when he got fucking tweaked out and shit.
Yeah, he's got a little too. So I mean, I think a lot of that stuff. That's where a lot of these things come from, man.
Well, because I heard they're also if you're somewhat schizophrenic already, like if you're prone to schizophrenia, that weed.
And you medicate yourself with that.
But the weed actually it makes you more prone to it. If you already have it in your like DNA or whatever, and you start smoking weed, it's more likely that you're gonna turn fucking schizophrenic. And that's probably why you see more. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to say, right? Because even like say homeless, right? Like, what do you think about the homeless thing? Since you're kind of out in the community.
There's actually a whole department that was developed just to deal with
that
with the homeless and stuff like that. I got some folks.
What do you do, or what do you think? Like I've been asking people, and people really don't know. People talk about like ship them out and shit.
I mean, it's
people. It's fucked up, man.
Because a lot of homelessness come from other cities. Though.
I heard they fucking ship them out to places.
Well, it's the thing is that it's kind of like gangs, man. Like whenever people hear about gangs or something, they're like, I used to hear moms tell me like straight up, they'd be like, man, put them all on the island and let them kill themselves. And I'd be like, man, I'm here because I came to tell you that your son's a gang member. Shit. And then all of a sudden, like, her point of view changed.
No,
don't. Aquí déjalo. You know what I mean? But
yeah, sure.
But with the homeless, man, it's just it's getting out of hand, man. Like I mean, I got an experience like when the last floods happened, where we had a 7 Tree Center as a spot for the victims of the flood. We were basically just told to just stop doing what we're doing because we're basically civil servants. So whenever there's a crazy emergency, whatever, you gotta go and you gotta go to work. And they put us, trying to. There were some of my folks in the neighborhoods just pulling stuff out from the apartments, pulling carpet off, all that stuff, right? And some of us were transporting people from the center where they were staying at because they didn't have a home anymore. In between there was also homeless people because the whole creek, flooded. So a lot of those people, were affected too. And, that's where I kind of got to chop it up with a few of them. And a lot of them would tell me, man, you know what? I'm from so-and-so state, but over there, my social security is this much. Here in California, it's this much. He didn't give me a number, but he let me know.
Yeah.
And it's like everything, man. Like whenever there's a good system or something like that, people will try to abuse it.
People take advantage.
And I think that's what's happening because when they were giving me applications, and I was looking over them to help them fill it out on like what they lost and stuff like that, I would be chopping it up with this dude and be like, dude, how the heck did you lose over $10,000 worth of stuff, and that lady only lost like $1,500?
The bridge guy lost fucking 10 G's.
The dude living in the creek lost $10,000 worth of stuff. And the lady that had her own place, her house, she only like $1,500. Like, dude,
what the
you
fuck?
need to do this again, dude, because they're not giving you any kind of assistance. You know what I mean? And so we would see stuff like that, and
that's true.
And that's why you see a lot of homeless out here, and people ship them out, but they know.
I think they like to do it too. Like I know it sucks. Like I mean, I see it. I don't like when it's like the youngsters. Like when you see like the homeless and they're hella young. Like that's when I do get a fucking job.
Yeah,
go join the military. Go, I don't know, fucking go do something. That's what makes you kind of like times like that. It makes you kind of think, like this should be some kind of like volunteer, not volunteer, but
Like where
forced
you're
fucking
enabling people?
military and shit. Like, yeah, because you're kind of like enabling these fucks.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that I end up paying these fuckers for all my taxes.
And the thing is that like a lot of that's true.
God damn
That's
it.
true. I always tell people, man, I gotta go to work. There's people on welfare that depend on me. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If we don't work, nobody gets paid.
Nobody gets paid around here.
So, but the thing is, like that's what kind of messes it up. You know what I mean? Like I offered this dude one time to buy him food. He asked me for money, and I was like, I was going into a Subway. I'm gonna buy you a sandwich, dude. And he's like, nah, man, I don't like that shit. And I'm like, bro, aren't you hungry?
Beggars shall be choosers.
And I'm like, dude, I'm here because I'm broke too, dude. Right now,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to break you off some of whatever little bit I got, and you tell me that. And I'm always people like you that mess it up for the people that really need something.
Yeah.
The dude that's really in that corner, you know, begging for some sort of opportunity
to actually do something,
and you fuck it up for him.
Well, it's like when you see, because we're talking about the whole system, right? Because it sucks when you say, if you say, that the system shouldn't have so many benefits for people to take advantage of, and because the people that really do need it, they actually use it properly, and there's always fucking the dickheads that take advantage of everything, right? Like when you see, for example, when you go to Story Road off of Walmart, it's fucking famous in San Jose.
Oh, right there, used to be the jungle, the area they call it jungle, the area they cleared out.
Yeah. So where by the Walmart, right?
By Happy Hollow.
Yeah. So okay, no, yeah. So that one too. That's fucking packed with homeless. But on the actual shopping center where the Walmart's at on the Story Road, there's a famous couple that's there. It has a kid. There's a dude, a wife, and the kid. And they're always in the corner, they put in a 12-hour shift. They're there for 12 hours, asking for money. And then I know they have a home because I used to work at a Walmart where people will call cops, call Child Protective Services, and call them on the family, because you can't. Me personally, you wouldn't want a child just in the corner of the street, fucking and it's in a car seat, right? And so you personally wouldn't want that. But those people call, and then the police check on them, and they actually check the welfare of the child. They have a home, they have a car, they have everything. But they're putting 12-hour shifts at a stop, and they're making money, man. Like it's
I think it's the same dudes that are over there by Lucky's on Capitol.
I wouldn't doubt it. They do little shifts. They move around.
They kind of look like I always wonder
it's like it's an Indian couple. The one I seen is an Indian couple.
I know exactly who you're talking
about. Dude, they're famous.
The lady gets pissed if you don't give her anything.
Yeah, So now they're getting to the point to get privilege and shit. Oh, you fucking dick! You want to give me and my child? Like, come on now. Like, but people know them. Like, where cops talk to them, and because the protective services actually go check up on them. So they come back. Oh no, they have a house. They have a car. Car right there waiting. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Why you getting mad at me that you're begging?
Yeah, and then the dude, like, it's crazy because the dude's right next to the wife and shit, and like, so you don't even the ego doesn't even get in the way from you. Like, you can still beg there with, I don't know, just.
I went to the gas station the other day, and then I walk in to go pay for my gas and shit. And the first thing I see was fucking ass cheek from a homeless guy. I'm like, what the fuck? No, this wasn't shorts. It was backside was his cheek, bro. It was ripped, bro. Oh man, that was all bad, right? I'm like, I went over here to pay. And then he held the door for me when I left. Obviously, probably,
with his cheek.
No, then he's like, man, he didn't have shit. It was raining around that time. He's like, you got a coat, man? And I was like, what? He's a Coke? And I was like, no, I ain't Coke. I'm fucking freezing, right? And I was like, damn. I felt hella bad. I was like, dude, I'll see if I got something, right? And then I just kind of left. He was kind of following me. I'm like, dude. And luckily, I had my gym bag.
Yeah.
And I had clothes in there, dude. I'm like, all right. So I took out sweats and I took out a sweater. I'm like, here you go. Like, he was actually walking around asking people
for coats and shit
or something, right? Yeah. And then they were like blowing him off and shit. And I walked up to him. I'm like, here you go, bro. I gave him like a full outfit. Pretty much. I'm like, here you go, bro. And he put it on right there. He's like, oh, thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
And then, I see people looking at me, and then all of a sudden, I see other people just coming up, handing them cash and shit.
Oh, see?
But it's because of that,
because
bro.
You did it, though.
Right?
Because they figured, this dude must know that he really does need it.
He needs it and shit.
I mean, he's showing you, he's asking you. It's not like he's lying about his pants, you know what I mean?
Dude, he's like even said it, man. I got no pants on, pretty much.
Come on, look at me, man. Look at my dick. No,
like,
see,
cover it, bro.
because it's
Cover
something like
shit.
that. Because I feel bad. I feel bad, bro. Because for me, I mean, I'm not really a religious person, but when I see stuff like that, like in my back of my mind, like, dude, what if that's Jesus asking me some shit, and then when I die, he's like, man, that time I asked for you some shit, you told me no, and you told me no. So that always fucks with me, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta give this fool some money or something.
But
Like,
you already gave it at church, didn't you?
no, I just right. Well, I don't do all that. See, but I don't go to church, so I don't really do that. So that's what makes me probably my guilt. Like, fuck, I gotta fucking get this full money. Because one time it was like at night, man. I was on my pad. It was me and my girl chilling, and I had my door open. And I had the screen closed, but the lights were on. It's probably like 10 at night, 10:30. And some dude walks up, knocks on the door, and shit on the screen. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, hey man, did you guys got a blanket, man? It's fucking cold. Like, it's a homeless dude. I'm like, oh fuck, this was about to rob me and shit. He walking up to a door. He's like, no, I just seen the light. And I seen the light on, so I just want to came. I'm like, fuck. So I gave him a blanket, and I'm like, hey, here, dude, you know. And but back of my mind, my girl's like, why would you do that? You open the door, he fucking stabs you and shit. you know, Benita's like, what the fuck, you crazy and shit. And I'm like, nah, but what if that's Jesus? Like, how the fuck? And then we just tell me like, hey, remember the time I asked for your blanket?
At least you got stabbed by Jesus.
And he got stabbed by Jesus and shit. But it's funny because, but it's true though, like, cause I was watching the Rogan shit, and he's talking about it's true though, cause if Jesus did come back, right? Because we all were to believe that, or I was watching the Messiah on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. It's pretty dope. But if he would have come back, like I think a lot of people wouldn't believe him. They would lock his ass up and shit.
The church is always the first.
Yeah,
and preachers and people that want you to believe in him, or in what they believe in.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's to me, folks aren't trying to get me to believe in God. They're trying to get me to believe in what they believe in, how they believe, and to believe that I need them in order to have a relationship.
In order to function.
We got it. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, it's like, shit, man.
That's more of a cult, right? Yeah.
Well, it's to me, that's a dope dealer right there, bro. You know, you just turn spirituality into dope.
Yeah.
Because now I need you in order to be spiritual. You know what I mean? And I got to go through you, and shit. Now it costs me money to go. Before I could go there for free, but now it's like, you know,
get my fix. I got to go pay for it now.
Now I got to kick down whatever I need to kick down. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's all good. You know, people gotta we all gotta go through what we gotta go through. You know what I'm saying? And some people are very religious, and that's cool. You know, whatever. The way I see it is, whatever works for you. You know, we all know what we need. You know what I mean? It's like that dude that has that wife that's on his ass all the time. But you know that motherfucker be off the hook if he don't have her around. You know what I mean?
If she was there, you'd probably be dead somewhere, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know,
it's always there for a reason.
That's what it is. And I can attest to that, man, because throughout my life I've had different experiences and I've been in different places, and I remember looking back at all those things and I was really involved with the church. Shit, I almost became a priest at one time.
Oh, sure.
And you know what I mean? But, you know, that wasn't just, you know, it just wasn't for me. But I remember if I wouldn't have gone through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And not that I'm in a better or worse place, but
it's what you needed at that time.
But the knowledge that I gained from there opened up my mind enough to be able to dig some more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of like you're digging a hole or you're building a house, but you start to get tired and you need to go somewhere to kind of re-energize, and that provided you that energy
to bring that in.
You know what I mean? And you continue to build, and the next thing you know, you're like, dude, okay, you're building something, and now you're seeing things from a different perspective, and you keep moving all the time. You keep moving, and I believe that's how it is, at least for me. You know, I don't, when it comes to religion or anything, you know, all I give is suggestions and what I do. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be responsible for like influencing anybody.
Same here. I try not to. I'm not really big on the whole religion thing. I don't discount it. Like if someone is religious, I'm not like, oh, you're wrong and shit. Because I'm a big believer that you don't know. You don't know if it's true. You don't know if it's wrong. So why tell somebody that you should do this or you should follow the way I do it? Check this out. But I just think it's useful, like how you're saying. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
useful for certain people. Like I tell people, how many people do you know go to jail, right? Like straight killers and shit, and then they come out, but they found Jesus. So they found fucking Muhammad, and they come out
Mm-hmm.
solid now. They don't want to kill nobody. They don't want to hurt nobody. They come out. If it wasn't for that, they'd probably come out even more fucking
Mm-hmm.
crazier and coming from the system of being locked up and coming out even more of a savage than when they're in.
Yeah.
But a lot of people find their self and religion. They find, so I think it comes in. It's good and bad, like
Yeah.
anything. Like can't really say everything's bad or everything's good at
Mm-hmm.
one point.
Well, yeah, and especially with that, you know what I mean, in jail, motherfuckers are gonna find something.
Son.
If you
You're
don't
gonna
want to
find
play anymore,
son.
we don't want to play anymore. Shit, Jesus, let me hide behind you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
true.
I don't bang
Yeah,
anymore. I believe in
I
Jesus.
believe
Hey,
in
but
I believe in the
you don't
Christ.
bang anymore. You got to put all that shit away then. You know what I mean? So, it's like everything, man. People abuse that too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They, they, uh, they don't find something, but they figure out a way how to use that. You know what I mean?
yeah, to their advantage. I
Hmm.
think it's human nature, though, right?
Yeah.
Humans
That
just fucking.
that's our human. What was I saying? Is like it's not the right. What's the right word for it? Not default, but it's like it's like
Programmed as that
yeah, man.
shit.
It's like in our DNA, in our human DNA, where if you get too much power, man, you just become crazy with it.
Yeah, oh, it's
You know?
what is power corrupts absolute power corrupts absolutely. So
You know what I'm
if
saying?
you have all the power, you're gonna be corrupted at one like you're
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
crash.
eventually you're
As
gonna.
a human, you're gonna
Yeah,
fall. Like your
yeah. You really need to be in a different
state of mind in
state of
order
mind, and that comes with
discipline.
a lot of lives. I always say,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you
no, yeah,
know,
you live a lot of lives, right?
you
Because
got to live a lot of lives. I
yeah,
don't know. A lot of people believe different things, but I definitely think like with experience, is how you can get to that point.
mm, yeah,
Learn
definitely.
how to really sit in a chair like that where you're responsible for people. And most people think that the higher you get, the more people serve you, but the higher you get, I believe and I don't believe, I know that the higher you get, the more people you serve. You know, you're more of a servant the higher you get.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
You feel like more giving too. I think as you especially when you feel more comfortable with yourself, you start to realize that you feel more comfortable probably even helping people.
Yeah.
And the more people you help, the more people eventually come around you. So
And
it makes
and
sense.
that's how, uh, like taking it back to what we were talking about, how when these jobs came out, a lot of us weren't doing anything,
Hmm.
and we were just messing around. And then next thing you know, there's an opportunity for us to work with kids and share some of this knowledge that we have, and sway them the right way instead of swaying them the wrong way. Um, you start to get hooked on that. Because the only attention you would get was when you did something negative, and it starts from
Mm.
home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
don't do
yeah.
something around the house, hey, motherfucker, you didn't do the lawn, you didn't do this,
Hmm.
the girls or the guys say, hey, you didn't do the dishes and blah blah, right?
Towards the
But you do
bad.
something good, nobody even
That's your
trips. They
job,
just
fool.
walk in.
That's your
You're
job,
supposed
fool.
to do that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
same thing in life, man. You're at work, you get to work on time.
No one
Nobody
gives a
gives a
fuck.
shit,
No
but
one
the
gives a
minute you're
fuck.
late, motherfucker, where were you?
Oh, he
And
does care.
yeah, you know what I mean? Is that whole abusive relationship, like where some girls feel like if the dude doesn't slap them around, you don't love him. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of girls like that,
And and
surprisingly.
that's
And there's
and
dudes too that I feel like they're
yeah,
opposite. They we're
same.
not getting smacked around, but if they're not getting being like used
They're
like
not getting treated bad. They're
bad,
they're not loved.
le gustan la mala vida.
And that's where I was saying, when you get into to doing something good and all of a sudden you're getting acknowledged for it, that's more addicting than anything in the
Yeah,
world, man. And
yeah,
and if you want to abuse that, go ahead, man. Abuse that shit because that's the best feeling in the world, man.
yeah.
When you help somebody out and they don't know you, they don't know nothing about you, but they say thank you to you and stuff, dude. After a while, you just
See, that's where I'm hoping that's where the world's kind of turning to, right? Like I
mm,
think I'm kind of torn. I'm torn in between. I'm thinking we're living in a world where information is so easily to you, right? You want to know something, it's fucking in the palm of your hand, right? So I'm kind of thinking when kids nowadays look at this stuff and I'm hoping that they kind of get more empathy for people, right? That's why my thoughts in the future are kind of more that way, that people are gonna get better. But when I look at the reality of stuff, like I think it's getting a little worse, right? When you watch stuff like youngsters beating up teachers, fucking fight, like just bullshit stuff, groups of jumping girls and shit for like cell phones and shoes and shit. I think I just seen that the other day.
But
Like,
what sucks about that is that if
I think
something
we're
good
getting
was
dumber.
happening, if something good was, if those 15 kids
Yeah,
that jumped that girl, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, you seen that? Yeah,
If those 15 kids would have been, I don't know, helping an old lady cross the street, that shit wouldn't have been on the
on the
internet.
news.
You wouldn't have heard about it.
Yeah,
There's probably another 15 kids that did do something
doing the
good,
same thing.
but
That could be
those
it
are the
too.
dudes that get the light, you know, and it
See,
goes
'cause
back.
that's where I'm torn, right? That's where I'm
Mhm.
half of me says, okay, that's only the stuff that you're seeing on the internet and stuff like that, right? But then you see like the stupid ass, like we're eating fucking Tide Pods, they're eating detergent pods and shit,
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
right? So like, bola de pendejos, right? Like it's just a bunch of kids are like, I mean, I would remember doing that shit. I know I was stupid. I was fucking stupid when I was a kid. You know what I mean? But my stupid was like,
I was eating ketchup packets. Like,
yeah, I was watching this dude eat ketchup and shit. You know, my stupid was ding dong ditch kind of stuff, right? Their stupid is like, oh, let's eat fucking detergent and see,
right?
like,
but imagine while you were growing up, your ding dong ditch was gonna get you likes, was gonna get you followers.
oh yeah, I'm breaking down the door and shit.
And all of a sudden, it's giving you money in your pocket.
That's the thing
For doing dumb shit.
So that's why I think
you do good shit. You don't get likes.
Oh,
you don't get none of that shit.
Yeah.
So
that's why I kind of think that it's gonna kind of fuck our society up.
You seen that movie Clockwork Orange?
I seen a long time ago.
Have you guys ever watched it?
I seen it a long time ago.
I think our kids are going that way right now. Every time I watched that movie not that long ago, again, and I was like, "Fuck, man, that's what's happening to our kids right now. They're losing it. They're doing shit to their parents that we wouldn't even think of doing."
Yeah, honestly, to be honest,
mean?
like there's kids that just like cuss out their parents. I'm like, dude, I would never think of doing that.
Parents are more scared of their kids right now than the kids are of their parents. And I've said it to parents, man, that's not a good thing. You're not doing a good job. You know what I mean? My mom and dad did a great job because we were freaking scared shitless of them. You know what I mean? But I mean, there's so many things that scare our parents. You know, there's a father I met one time at a presentation, and he pulled me to the side, and he told me, he goes, "Hey," he goes, "when my son got out of hand, I told him, you don't calm down, I'm gonna beat your ass," right? And he's telling me the story, and then he's telling me this, and then he's just like, he kept doing what I told him not to do, and I beat his ass. He goes, "You know what I did? I sat on the porch and waited for the cops to come get me because I'm the authority in my house." And every time, he goes, "And every time you mess up, I'm gonna beat your ass again, and I'm gonna sit right here and wait for the cops that you call on me." You know what I mean? And
but it's a trip that the kid would probably call the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I used to get my ass whooped, and not once did I think I'm gonna call the cops on these motherfuckers and shit. Fuck this, hey police.
And that's because the kids think they're allowed to do that because they fall under a category of like child abuse, right?
Yeah. Well, because nowadays it's considered not, oh, that you're fucking up as a parent, you should be able to talk to the kid.
But then after the dad gets out of jail and they go through the courts and pictures that they took of the kid, and wait a minute, there's no bruises on this kid. It's not abuse, it's discipline. But like months later and court dates later, you know what I mean?
And now the kid has more power.
But the dad,
he's thinking,
that kid ended up getting it because after a while, I mean, that not every parent has to go through that. But that was his point he was making. He goes, "This is how much I knew, and this is what I knew, but I was the authority in my house." You know what I mean? And I had to do what I had to do. And he was sharing this with other parents, you know, and those ladies, I'm not gonna do that, or
Yeah, see, because I think more people are scared of the fact that
they don't want to go.
I think there's more of the parenting, right? Because the whole parenting, the new wave, new age of parenting is like, don't hit your kids. There's no reason to hit kids. If you already got to the point where you need to hit the kid, you fucked up already. That's pretty much the train of thought of things, right? Like that you should have taken care of that when as they were there 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah,
7.
and a lot of parents have that question, dude. How far can I?
Like what's
How far
what's
can I
the
go
limit?
with?
Because sometimes kids just fucking act up, bro. Like I don't have no kids. I just want to smack all over.
Some-
That's when I see motherfucker.
Yeah, some of the
Feel like the scene, don't be a menace.
Just fucking walking through the grocery store, start stalking motherfucker.
with the grandma, remember? Nah, yeah, man. Some of those kids are exactly like in those movies. That's what trips me out. You know what I mean?
A
How
bunch of baby kids and shit.
you know what I'm saying? That how all that stuff is coming to
Fruition.
fruition.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with KRS-One,
Yes.
MC. You know what I mean? He has a bunch of stuff on YouTube and stuff that I like listening to, and you know, some of the stuff is out there, but in a way, one way or another, it makes sense. You know what I mean? And like when he shares, if I tell this little kid to uh go home and make this gun that shoots, you know, balloons, and these balloons do this and that kid doesn't know that can't be a reality.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is gonna go and figure that shit out. How can I put this together?
Because he has no boundaries.
How can I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's told him that can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That he can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, see, so that goes into structure,
and that's why I think sometimes like these movies that we make and music that's out there and stuff, like a lot of that starts to happen because, you know, we seen it.
Yeah.
And it's like that can happen, you know. I can punch my grandma. You know what I mean? Even though that's a joke or whatever, you know what I mean? But you know, you start to normalize
everything around
that kind of behavior, you know.
Imitates art,
or does life imitate? Yeah, art imitate life, or life imitating art. But I mean, because it goes into like what you say. I remember like the Michael Myers movies, right? Horror movies back in those days. I remember you weren't allowed to kill kids. My brother was a real big he's a big horror fucking movie fucking enthusiast, whatever the fuck. I was watching horror movies when I was like 4 years old, dude. I was watching like Zombie and fucking Gates of Hell. I was watching all this shit, dude. Like fucking like 4 and shit, fucking shit, fucking tripping out. But he would always tell me, "Hey, you notice?" He goes, "What's one thing you notice?" And that always stuck with me. He's like, "You notice they never kill kids. Never kill kids." He goes, "In every movie from like the Michael era, Jason era down, you never show it. You could be a kid, they'll show a kid dead maybe on in the background, but you never show it. But now you can murder kids. You cut the kid's head off and shit. You fucking do anything. So it just time brings different censorships. Like it's you're so used to something. You're so
they would, you know, is that's what the media is for, is to
desensitize. That's the word. That's
it
the word.
desensitizes you. It normalizes things for you. You know what I mean?
Like a war. Like imagine if you seen, like if I'm used to seeing people get murdered all the time, and then I go outside and my neighbor gets murdered. It's not gonna affect me as much. I'm like, oh shit, well, it's normal.
Well, I mean, nowadays in movie, you're watching a movie, and like every movie, somebody's sparking up a blunt. You know what I mean? You know, and it's a doctor, a nurse. Like, what was that one movie with Tom Cruise? The where he's the manager of a football player. What's it called? I remember I was watching that movie. Yeah, Tom Cruise. I forgot what it's called. Jerry Maguire.
Oh, Jerry Maguire.
That movie.
Or baseball.
Football. Yeah.
Was it football? What was it?
And
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, and I remember watching that movie and tripping out.
It's football. I thought it was baseball.
And I remember after watching that movie, I was like, dude, they're gonna hella legalize weed soon. And they're all like, and you know, my friends were like, how come? I'm like, dude, that lady that was in there, the sister, is a nurse, and she's just chilling in her kitchen, lighting up a joint.
To make it seem like it's nothing.
Smoking. Mm-hmm. Hey man, she's educated. She went to school.
So it's a different aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a different person holding that joint.
It's not your regular stoner.
It's not a dude in the alley, you know.
The guy on the couch.
It's not just the Mexican dude or the black dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's,
It's
freaking everybody doing it, and it's folks.
Sure.
I still got one right here.
No, but yeah, sure. But that's how they do it, right? They fucking they throw it into movies, mainstream movies. The same thing with cigarettes. They would do.
Oh, dude, everybody used to have cigarettes back in the days.
Women, that's what was their main campaign, right? They started making women smoke and shit. So like, because they were losing. They want to make more money, so let's get the women
But they had
involved.
all these beautiful actresses, man,
Yeah,
holding a
just
cigarette.
fucking stoking it up.
So some ugly ass chick will be holding a cigarette.
There's always
and
after
be
sex
like,
too.
this is the way I look the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna lie, like I'll be watching just for this like narcos, you know that fool be smoking all the time.
Stones, right?
And like I'm like a smoker, so I'm like fuck.
Cigarettes
I
don't
kind of
tell,
want to
man.
smoke. Like that shit works, bro.
Yeah, that
Just,
does.
like looking at it, I ain't gonna lie, that shit does.
And then he
work.
looks like a badass too. Ah, that fool's had a badass. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette too. I'm gonna tell someone, "No te hagas pendejo." That's just true though. That's just how it's marketing. It's where it's strategic fucking marketing. It's subliminal, whether it's subliminal or fucking.
They just paid the money, man. They paid the money to, the cigarette companies were.
How was it when? Did you ever see like growing up like those commercials? Remember those the Camel Joe, whatever his name is?
Dude, it was like
man.
normal, dude. Like it wasn't.
I've always tripped out about that.
My pops had a chair in the living room, and dude, they actually used to sell like nice ashtrays so you could keep them around the house. He had one on the table, and he had one next to him where he just like smoke cigarettes while he's watching TV. And I don't remember smelling the house or anything.
It's weird, huh? Like it's just normal.
Yeah, and then my dad would buy tobacco and the papers, so he'd roll his own cigarettes, and he have a stack.
I heard those are way better than just smoking regular cigarettes, though.
I don't know, they were harsh. I remember stealing a couple and being like,
yeah,
no, yeah,
because what is it? The rolly ones, like the ones in prison and shit, the ones that give you
the ones with that filter, right? That's not good for you.
The without a filter. Oh, I don't know. It's just like bugles. They call it bugles. All it is just the little tobacco, and you like roll like a joint. I heard those are better than the ones like say you're rolling a Marlboro.
Like the cigars, you mean?
No. So like say so you get buglers, right? So you get you buy a pack of so they look like that.
Oh yeah.
So they say
dude, that's my pops used to have that shit in the freezer. And that's the paper, right?
Yeah. So it comes with the little paper with it. So when I used to smoke cigarettes back in the day, I used to get these and I'll roll it myself, right? I was old school. So I was an old soul.
Dude, my dad never used that shit. He would make them look perfect, dude.
That's how I practice my J's and shit. So I'll just roll these going to school and shit, going to high school and shit.
My friends used to be, hey, tell your boss to roll me a joint. And I'll be like, hey, pa, way quiere. And then they'd be like, shut up, fool, shut up.
Shit's for you, dog. Yeah, but they said these are better for you essentially because they don't have all the other the chemicals that I said the Marlboros or the Cools, whatever already like packed in there.
Yeah,
I guess they put different shit in there compared to what.
And then I guess the filter too. They say that would have some.
Buglers better than cigarettes.
I still like watching old school movies.
Believe that your roll one tobacco is more natural, therefore safer or less harmful than factory-made cigarettes. They didn't really say that. They didn't help me.
Yeah, man. Shit, my dad used to tell me my grandma used to give him tobacco to cure his cough when he was little.
Oh, really?
But my grandma would roll them in either the tobacco leaf or roll them in the corn leaves. The corn leaves. She would cut them into little squares and just roll the tobacco in there and smoke the corn leaf.
Yeah, we used to smoke out of tamale wraps. You know the wraps for tamales.
Yeah, the corn leaf.
Roll that shit up, fucking close it with chopstick, and you know what I'm saying? Smoke that shit up. You got any current events for me, bro?
Yeah.
The coronavirus.
That shit. Shit. We'll start it off with that.
Wash your hands.
I see some shit. It says coronavirus may force Americans to.
Crowds and cruises. Health officials warns. So I'm here. I don't know. So you could take it both ways, right? I mean, because they say your common flu kills way more people than this, right?
Like, yeah, because the percentage or whatever.
Yeah, like it kills way more people. The only difference is that it's not your common flu. That it's a virus. It's fucking catching super quick.
I guess that's what they were saying, that it's easier to catch.
Yeah,
it'll live longer on something. I guess
it's like 48 hours. Instead, it lives 48 hours outside of. That's a lot, bro. Just, I mean, because if I cough on this 2 days later, you can still get sick.
They say 5 days, you won't feel the symptoms in 5 days. So
until 5 days.
Yeah, and the 5th day, you'll start feeling the symptoms.
See, I don't know, and that's another thing. Remember how we're talking about the whole Jesus comes back? The other day we were talking about when 9/11 happened. Everybody kind of like came united and everybody came like helped
Mhm.
out each other. I think now with the internet, it will never happen again. That whole everybody being united.
Mhm.
So this would be one thing that I think people would kind of unite with, like a major virus, something fucking killing people left and right. No one's really to blame. There's just
Mhm.
fucking right. There's seems something people would want to unite. But even with this, people are like talking shit. Like, what is it? Oh, like 22 people died of coronavirus, but like 38 people die every day of like military vets. Like, right? And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, well, fuck. So you know what I mean? I think everybody was going to divide themselves. Like, I don't think
Mhm.
people are ever going to be so united anymore. I think people are just always going to be,
There was
well,
one
fuck you.
It was when I heard it was like coronavirus affected this much, but everybody's still not using condoms because like AIDS.
AIDS still kills like 1,000 people a year.
People are still not wearing condoms and shit.
You know what I mean? I think everything's just turned into a meme, even like a world crisis and shit. Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to normalizing stuff, dude. I mean, sometimes this stuff makes me think that, what are we getting prepared for? Or it's like a test, to see if we panic,
yeah, I honestly
or
think
what we do when we panic.
that this was a test for China. This was a test. This is a military rollout, right? Because if you believe in the whole like Illuminati thing and all that, so China is the ideal government that they would want, right?
Because they got
The,
all the money,
the
right?
elite, because they have all the
Mhm.
money. The elite would want that kind of system because they have all the money.
What is it?
Everybody's
Communist? Is it communist?
it's commie
Oh.
China. So the elite, they kind of allow capitalism in there,
Mhm.
but if you're a capitalist, everything goes to the government. Like if you're a major company,
Mhm.
you're gonna be part of the government. There's no maybe or fuck you government. No, you're
You
mine.
get government benefits.
I'm not necessarily of
being
the
part of that?
benefits, but you get if you're a major company, you get government funded.
Oh, okay.
Like so, if you want
That's
to do
what I'm saying.
testing,
Like,
yeah, you get tested.
kind of like here, right?
No, here
Like-
you
like-
could. I mean, it depends. I
Like
mean,
Apple got funding from the government for that.
Google was fucking DARPA made.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Google
a
straight
lot of those
DARPA.
places are like if you're a major company.
Mhm.
That's why kind of like it's kind of weird. Like it's a democratic
Here
country,
we're not really.
but it's still the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
we're in a somewhat communist socialist fucking country, but with the front of capitalism. I call it crony capitalism
Mhm.
because it's only your friends get rich and they fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. So the people at the top, they're friends. They're the ones that get rich. You get contracts, you get everything, but everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They feed.
because that's the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way the system works. That's another one of my things with kids when they don't want to go to school, when the parents are like yelling at them. I'm like, that's cool. Don't let them go to school. There's
Fuck.
a little dude to look at me like, why not? I mean, why? Why is it cool? I go, because we need people like you.
We need workers.
I go, we need people to still work at McDonald's. Imagine if everybody was a doctor and a lawyer.
We wouldn't have nothing to eat.
We would not have nobody working at McDonald's.
I wouldn't have nothing.
Nobody working drive-throughs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Shit.
I
wouldn't have nothing to eat.
It's part of the system. You're making a choice right now.
Yeah, you're just being
and if
spoke.
that's the choice you want to go that far up, then then that's cool.
That's a good choice because we still need that. And
Yeah,
you can talk shit about it, but at the end of the day, we still need them.
And it goes back to the homeless and the people that are on like welfare and all that stuff. We need that too, because I mean, I don't know exactly what the government gets out of it, but the government gets something out of having
homeless.
So many homeless. It's kind of like when it's kind of like if you take a foster kid in your home.
You get the money.
You get monthly. You get a monthly payment to take care of the young man.
I'm pretty sure the city gets a certain. Here's a bundle to take care of homeless.
Well, for a while, like all our local jails, if the kid was validated gang member, the state will flip the bill on him. But if he's not validated, then the city would pay for him.
So that's why
that's where a lot of people were starting to get validated.
That makes sense. Which is pretty good now that California doesn't have a profit prison anymore, right? Or they're not building any more profit prisons? How's that work?
I think they still got private prisons.
Supposedly the mayor, look up that, the mayor says there's no more profit prisons.
Maybe not in California,
I think in California.
But they still exist here.
Well, no, in California, I'm not sure I think it might be a fucking rule to it where it's any new prisons. But when the fuck are they going to build a new prison, right? Like, there's a lot of prisons here already. They fucking get a lot of profit. Oh, but I was saying about the China thing, right? So if you look at China is like probably the perfect government that the elite would want people in control because you have a lot of workers, the spokes, right? You have a lot of spokespeople. They're intelligent, so they create a lot of shit. But they're really they accept the government. They accept they allow the governments in their life all the time.
They're all submissive.
Yeah,
to
very
everything.
submissive, right? They don't have the American spirit of being as much as we're being controlled. But if someone were to tell you, "Hey, I'm gonna watch you 24/7," you'd be "fuck you," right? Like, but over there, oh, okay, I guess it makes sense, right? But here, there's somewhat of a freedom spirit. So I think with this whole coronavirus thing was they wanted to do a test of their surveillance of their people's spreading fake news, spreading they because have you seen in China they have the drones coming out fucking
I heard about that. And they
like
do the face recognition.
yeah, like
stuff.
face recognition stuff. They have people like say you're flying. Hey, you don't have a mask on. The drone's talking to them. You don't have a mask. Go back inside. Go put a mask on. Go inside, and they go run inside to get a mask. To me, that seems like that's very like a test. Like to see what we can do.
They want to see how many people
who listen. How many people listen? Like, can we shut down? Can we make a whole fucking city stay indoors? Because I think Italy is quarantining the whole. Italy, I think it just released something that Italy is quarantining the whole fucking country.
No way.
So like, nobody can fly in, fly out, nothing.
That sure reminds me of
I'm like, how the fuck
they live?
Oh yeah, the drones and shit. Yeah.
They live. Remember us? Was those old school movies, Escape from New York, and later they made that Escape from LA and all that.
It might be Escape from LA because everybody is fucking sick and shit, and now. I mean, I just think it's more of a military kind of thing.
That's why I feel like the whole border and wall they're trying to build. You know what I mean? It's to keep us in, not to keep us out.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest with you, I mean, shit. That's what's gonna happen. The only people they're gonna, because the cartels are gonna find other ways under, around it, above, fucking through it, pay someone off.
I mean, the people bringing stuff in are over here.
They're gonna, they're gonna find it. They're in cahoots with the government to do it, right? The bigger players,
and more stuff like that starting to come out on why these organizations exist. Because speaking of government funding,
yeah, a lot of it's fucking state ran and shit. Yeah, definitely with the whole narcos situation and shit, right? That's kind of showing how.
Oh yeah, so they can control other countries.
Yeah, how they're showing how U.S. government they have an idea, but let's not fuck with it. Let's let them keep doing that.
And you know how I guess that president didn't make it in or in that movie. Well, I don't want to do the spoiler just too crazy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But either way, like only things that did happen, that president did get in. That president that the United States wanted did get in there and did his thing. Well, that's when all the American companies, you go out there, there's Walmart
out there.
Costco. I went last time I was in Leon. There was a KFC there, McDonald's, Burger King.
Yeah, they're
everybody. Dude, Starbucks, dude. I started tripping out.
What the fuck?
I was driving. I was like, what the heck?
Starbucks.
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 Yes, Starbucks.
It's an ES. It's an E before everything. I just looked this up right here. We were talking about Italy.
All of Italy is in lockdown. Coronavirus cases rise.
Nah, it looks like a movie from
like fucking Resident Evil.
What's that dude that came out on Fast and Furious, the last one?
Vin Diesel.
The other dude, not Vin Diesel. It's The Rock and the other dude.
Jason Statham.
I think so. I was like, that.
Statham on that movie now. Damn.
Whatever that full fucking.
Sometimes I trip out on stuff like that, man. Like, are those fools actors or what? You know what I mean?
And
how did you get them?
They can be though, right? Like, to be honest, like you could just stage that shit. Like, who the fuck?
I mean, that looks perfect.
You met somebody, but hey, man, my boy took a picture at fucking the CDC and shit at Italy. Yeah, my boy.
I mean, all those motherfuckers look like dressed, ready to go. How the fuck do you prepare? You can't even take a family picture perfect like that, dude.
And you look that way.
And you went to a place to take it in the studio, dude. And you can't even do that like that, man. That's perfect. Like, this got his mask.
I mean, because they even got to the point where like Trump's like trying to like, oh, calm down, people. Like, people don't even believe Trump. Trump's people don't even believe Trump anymore.
I was tripping out on that. I was like, I wonder if like Trump just did a coronavirus just to hate on China because nobody wants their exports anymore right now.
It could have been. It could have been. See, but that's what I'm saying. It's all. It
Who knows
ties
what
perfectly to
all
like
these
just
all these
just to,
dudes
like.
do all
You
kinds
ever
of
see
stuff.
that shit from The Simpsons where all the elites get in a circle and they discuss, oh, this is what we're gonna do and plan, and maybe it's all the governments getting together and be like, all right, this is what we're gonna release.
Release this. Every calm
we'll
down.
See how our governments react.
Because if you notice, no high official ever dies, right? Like
None of their
you're
kids
not gonna
do.
hear fucking the Chinese general military fucking assassin's daughter died. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna hear that shit. You're not the head of state fucking side bitch died. Like it's never like that. It's always fucking this poor kid over here, fucking the doctor. Well, the doctor died though. The scientist.
Because he was trying to get that shit.
But
out.
he was like front line and shit.
He probably injected that shit directly, motherfucker. All right, you want to speak?
But that's what they say. Once nurses and shit start to get sick, that's the one that's like man-made kind of shit.
Well, Wuhan didn't they? They had like what 1,700 different kind of viruses there and shit. That was their like CDC kind of.
Yeah, well, that's what we have here though.
Yeah,
we do the same shit in
Atlanta,
Texas,
right?
in Texas, Atlanta.
Yeah,
we do all that shit.
But my thing is like, why they allowed that doctor to, or those pictures come out all of a sudden? You know, like after the fact. You know what I mean? Like,
see, okay, so people release those pictures, right? And then those people got arrested. So that's why I'm saying that it's pretty much, I think, a fucking test to see. Okay, China says, okay, let's do the fucking control. Okay, how can we catch the people who are not paying? The people who are fucking spreading all the real news? Let's fucking get those guys. And because they could search your search engines, they could do whatever you're doing. They could easily search it. So now they find out who's defecting, and then they fucking pick them up.
What is it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why did they let that out? I mean, dude, that looks like a perfect picture.
That's right. They everybody pose.
I mean, that's dope.
What happened in North Korea?
Those jackets don't even look dirty, dude.
Oh, it's brand new, bro. Those are virus jackets. They've been waiting for this moment. They're time to shine, boys.
Hey, cameras there. Look different.
Everybody looking different directions.
You got like the virus is gonna come flying somewhere.
China,
you know?
North Korea.
And like, why they got all that? Like, what else? Like for their clips and their guns? Like to what? Like shoot like the virus or something?
Handcuffs.
Because zombies come around.
But is that look? You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, it gives you that presence.
It's like that look they want to show
dominance
and shit. You ever noticed that Denver airport portrait of that fucking?
Oh yeah, straight Illuminati, bro.
The Nazi dude.
No, the fucking gas mask soldier, the apocalyptic soldier.
Supposed to be like a Nazi dude, right?
Is it? Mm-hmm. That looks like that guy. That looks like that guy.
Hey, for real, that instead of those masks, they should have used those other ones.
The gas masks and shit, the real ones.
Yeah.
The 3M ones.
I heard people here are buying those.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of masks.
Have you seen all the videos of all the videos of people fucking throwing it down over some toilet paper?
Dude, that's...
But you get what I'm saying? Like, people are just gonna get dumber. And I think those people... Okay, like, my theory has always been, like, those people normally shouldn't be alive. Sounds fucked up. But... let me explain myself.
Maybe they had an overstock and they created the virus so they could sell the rest of it.
So Darwinism, right? Darwinism said the survival of the fittest and this and that, right? So I think the world nowadays got so soft that you're gonna have those like idiots. You're gonna have really, really dumb people. Like you're gonna have those people. When normally those would be the ones that walk off in the dark and get fucking jacked by a lion, jacked by a tiger, or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. But now we have them here. Those are the ones complaining everything on the internet. Those are the small groups fucking eating fucking Tide pads and shit, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking.
Yeah, I seen that. Hey,
yeah, see, that
what's his name? What's his name? Had that on his show, right? That Jesse Ventura guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
How do you explain this?
He's on the ground. Yeah, see, and then they made a big ass deal about it, and then they still didn't want to take it off.
Well, it's crazy, bro. Like that.
Denver still didn't want to take it off.
Who's the artist that did this?
I don't know. It's pretty good though, right?
That is pretty crazy though.
Like, but you're slaying a dove, which means
like,
peace.
what would you think? Like, hey, this would be nice,
especially in the airport, right? Okay, let's put the devil in the background.
But they say like supposedly this airport was built for the elite or something like that.
Yeah,
and by the Freemasons and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But why would they want that picture on there? What would they want to look at that?
It's the way that it's been explained to me is gangs, right? You're really big with gangs. Gangs would put a 13 or 14 anywhere, 18 anywhere, right?
To let you know that's
just to let you know. So for them, For someone, I'm your gang. I'm the elite gang now.
Mm-hmm.
I put this on the airport made for my people. Right? So no one knows about it. Everybody thinks tripping. Oh, fuck, that's crazy. I walk in because I'm your gang member. Oh, my man, he put my gang up there. That's my dude right there. That to them is just is posture. It's showing them what your gang. This is their 14. This is their 13. This is for the elite to see. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I believe in that. Like it's not meant for you. It's not meant for me. This is your the same reason they put stuff in movies and subliminal shit. They only people pick up in the background. Oh, you see that shit? It fucking and 2 minutes into it, they put this in the background.
So that's to kind of put fear in your subconscious.
And yeah, your subconscious, and then more for them to kind of show that like, yeah, we're still out here, or it's so blatant.
So when you see
brazen.
a dude dressed like that, like we saw those other dudes,
Yeah.
subconsciously
yeah,
triggers
oh,
the
that's
fear,
like at
right?
the airport,
It's
or
like
it makes it even normal for you.
they're supposed to be scary because those dudes are gonna do that.
gonna do that to you.
Mm.
You know, so either way for them it's just
Slay the peace while your children are dead.
like you're underground, dead. Like those right there are your fucking your spokes.
Mhm.
Each one is a child, so those are your spokes. Your mother just have mothers are having spokes because you're in line, and then you slay in the piece.
That fool looks like a Nazi right there.
Right? He looked like he from Iran, bro.
Like what?
From Iran. Have you seen how their military people dress up?
Well, because of the sword, you mean?
Like Iran. Not just the actual get up, the stuff on the sides too. The fucking
What's that on
the
his
shoulder
head?
pads.
Go scroll down. See what's he's wearing on his hat.
On his hat?
An eagle.
Oh, it's an eagle.
I could like the American eagle.
Like yeah. Well, I think a lot of countries actually use the eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico for one.
I don't know. What's the
Eagle sounds powerful.
That's crazy, because like imagine walking to the airport with your kid. You know what I mean? But you're the elite. I'm like, what's that? That's you, fool.
Oh, that's Uncle Jimmy's painting.
Right,
that's Uncle Jimmy's painting.
That's tu tío, güey.
It's
Like,
a tío, that fool crazy. That was crazy, huh?
Iran soldiers.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Kinda.
That's the first thing I pictured when I first seen it.
Those are the first soldiers because they got baseball hats.
Yeah, you gotta look at it like generals and shit.
Kinda look alike.
All right, I'm not gonna lie,
crazy.
with little gas and shit. Like, oh shit,
Mask real quick.
I like it. You got anything else for me?
Yeah, I got a few more.
There's like so much stuff with what is it with like when the military become the cops, what's it called,
Martial law.
like martial law. There's all kinds of like stuff like that too that people talk about, like I guess when some of the incidents happen here in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
they try to do like the martial law stuff to test it out, but it hasn't worked.
It doesn't really work that good.
It doesn't work because a lot of the soldiers after a while start like, hey man, I need to go home.
Well,
Hey,
them too, but the people themselves like, I'm not gonna stay here all day. Fuck you. Go
Mhm.
outside.
And then they're starting to ask them to do certain things and like, why are we doing that to
Mhm.
our own people?
Mm-hmm.
So what I had read before was that they were actually bringing Russian folks.
Other countries, foreign
Yeah.
countries. I heard they're gonna bring like Cuban countries.
And that's why like a lot of people in other countries are getting trained so that
Mhm.
when the martial law actually kicks in, it's not going to be our own folks. It's
It'll be
going
other people controlling our shit.
Yeah, they'll be in the United States uniforms in the martial law uniform, but
But they have no they'll have no
no
they have
relationship.
no relationship with you.
No empathy.
You look different to them, so fuck
Mhm.
you. Get in
Well,
there.
they're
I heard they're using Cubans. I heard they were using like.
Well, why do you think
Mexicans.
another country? There's other countries they don't like. You say you're American, they don't like you, and
Your higher price
and
is muscle.
that makes me believe that people are being
Already
brainwashed
programmed too.
to look at us a certain way.
Mhm.
So when they come over here, they hate us, just like they did to soldiers back in like World War II and all the other wars. You watch the cartoons, the Middle Eastern dudes were always evil.
All the bad guys, yeah.
Yeah,
And so now that's why to us they're all terrorists.
Mhm.
Like that was actually
I wanted to ask
strategic.
you, what do you think if the cartel is considered terrorists?
They are.
I mean, like
Because
we label them as that.
They do, because
Sure.
gang members nowadays are labeled as terrorists. Whenever a kid threatens another kid,
Yeah.
If that kid really has no support, nobody helping him out, it's considered he'll fall under a terrorist threat because of what he did.
So I think that's good.
And
to a point. That's a little extreme for like the gang members and stuff like that. But I think gang members and stuff.
real gang members, it's good for them. But there's a lot of like the gangs in our neighborhoods. Those aren't
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
hardcore
That's
gangs.
what I'm saying. Like, it might be a little bit too.
Those are still kid gangs. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Even if the dude's
But
30
that
or
might be
40
good.
years
That's
old.
a good deterrent. Like, hey, bro,
Well, it works
fucking,
in Mexico, man.
Yeah.
Fools over there.
yeah, because here, when Trump said, "Oh, we're gonna label them terrorists and shit," I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's cool, right?" Me personally,
Are you talking about the dudes that are out there decapitating?
yeah, I'm talking
families?
about cartels, like,
Yeah.
because gang members here, like, you're still a gang, right? I'm
Mhm.
talking about like cartel, because for a terrorist is when you're changing, what is it? You're changing
Trying to
religious
take out
views. You're either trying to change
a culture.
a culture by politics or religion,
Mhm.
right? And they're doing it. They're doing it because one, their religion is La Santa Muerte, for one, right? Two, their money influences government power, so that's
But I thought
politics.
Santa Muerte was part of the Catholic religion too, and the
They all believe
Christian
in it.
religion, right?
They all. I don't. It's part of that, like the basement.
The Holy Death.
that's in the basement and
The
shit.
little-
That's the little door that no one talks about and shit. That's the uncle. That's the drunk uncle.
Yeah, because I remember back in the days, I had a Virgen de Guadalupe
Mm-hmm.
with the skull in the
Mm.
middle, and they're like, "Hey, that's the Santa Muerte." And I'm like, oh, "Shit,
Yeah, so that's
who's that?" You know, and then
I don't know
I
who the
found
fuck
out
that
about
is.
it, and I was like, I mean, it is. I don't know. I just have different kind of views, but yeah,
yeah, because it's me. Because I mean, all the
and
killers.
the other dude Malverde, right?
Malverde.
It's Malverde and
He's the Malverde, and then was Santa Muerte.
He looks like Ramon Ayala and shit. Like,
yeah, he does. He
it's
does.
like, damn.
he had lapel skin and shit.
Yeah.
So they have those two fools.
Just kidding, eh? Just kidding.
Don't stand me, dog.
We're poor. We're poor.
No, so you have those people, right? So the like the hitmen,
Mhm.
the killers, they all believe in like in the Santa Muerte. They all do it because they what is it? Because they So they go because they ask them, who is it? They ask some
Yeah, man.
they ask some dude. He goes, "Hey, what's the difference between la Santa Muerte y la Virgen?" Right? And he goes, "No, es que la Virgen te hace she does miracles. O la Virgen te ayuda. La Santa Muerte nomás te hace un paro." Like, like yeah, he just does you a favor for that.
Pretty much,
it's
you
nomás
pretty
te-
much couldn't explain it.
Yeah, but
you
that's
know?
what you tell you. La Virgen te hace te cuida or some shit, pero el Santa Muerte nomás te hace un paro. Like, that fool just helps you out one time. So they all believe in that shit. And then they use their money to influence fucking government politics. Fucking, I think they fucking brought in the new president from Mexico. I think they're all the cartel members. I think they all voted and brought him in there. Like, because he's not touching anybody. He's not going after any cartel members. So all the cartel members are able to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Just Chapo didn't pay. So.
Yeah, well, because he's out. So now they probably because he's not even in charge. Fool. El Chapo is
He's retired, man.
No, but he wasn't. It was supposedly his son. His son turned him in, and fuck, what's the other?
Weren't they trying to kill him?
Fuck, what's his name? El Zambada, El Mayo Zambada, some shit like that. So there's two other fools that were really the head of cartels. El Chapo, they let him to be the face of the cartel because he liked to be famous and shit. He was the John Gotti. Like, he liked to be
They
fucking.
should make like baseball cards for cartel.
Yeah, come on, bro. I follow that shit deep, bro. I follow that shit deep, bro.
Playing guards,
So, yeah, that's what I took
with their stats on the back and stuff.
with 32 murders, decapitations, 3 bombings.
Yeah, it's like you say, man. The government lets them do what they do.
Yeah, and they let them do
but
it.
when they want them,
They
when they ask
bring
them to
him
do
in.
stuff, they have to do whatever.
That's why when they let go of Chapo's son,
Mm-hmm.
that's why he wasn't ready yet. That's why they let him go. Like, hey, fucking, you're not your time. That's why fucking they brought the whole military and shit to shoot him out, take everybody out. But your ideal.
Where were we getting that? Like, what about that?
Oh, that it was good. So you have all that, right? So you have the terror. So they would be perfect terrorist label group,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if all this was going on in the Middle East, we'll be fucking droning the shit out of them, sending Tim Kennedy out there, fucking breaking necks, doing everything. They're doing everything, bro. They're fucking a bunch of Rambos out there, everything. But because it's literally connected to us, it's more patient because there's more money involved. cartel brings way more money than any fucking terrorist out there, right? They're bringing way more money. So when Trump's like, oh, we're gonna name them terrorists, right? I was like, fuck that, he's finally doing something right. And then he backed off. He's like, wait a minute, never mind. Because he told him
somebody made a call.
If you know what happened was politics got involved. Because if you go Mexico, you are now terrorist state. So now anybody who is not a terrorist can now leave Mexico and find asylum because you're running from terrorists. You're a refugee now. Right?
That's the word I was looking for the other day. Refugee.
So now you're a refugee.
We do have some folks over here that are refugees from Mexico.
Because depending on what it is, right? But if you declare a terrorist state, like if you go, Mexico's a terrorist state now. Mm-hmm. So anybody there could flee to Mexico, to the United States, and you have to let them in because they're refugees. So that's why he backtracked. He's like, oh,
well, that's
shit.
why we had all those folks coming through Mexico to get over here.
He's a whole, but there's rules to that now, right? Because the people here, and then they got kicked back. They got like, there's a whole different thing to that. Like people coming from there, like people in Tijuana had like make Tijuana great again. Like they got hats, bro, because they didn't want them to stay there. And
there was a video out that I can't find anymore on YouTube that my brother showed me where fools were paying these people to get in line to do that,
to do the march and shit,
to do the march through Mexico and stuff,
bro.
And it was like dudes like in little polos, like dressed up in the little BTUs. Those
that's right.
Those security black pants, that people wear.
With the nice
and they were like passing out the money, and they were like line up and then march.
Just march straight, man. Like, when you get to the door, just turn back. That's what it pretty much was. I mean, but that's why you backtracked it though, because politics. Because that would be the right move, right? Fucking label them terrorists. You can take them all out. There goes the drug cartel. There goes all the, right? Yeah, well, you can't do that because that's money. That's fucking.
With the people that helped him get in office or that put him in office,
they're gonna be like, nah.
They were like, nah, bro, you're not supposed to touch those people.
Hey, shut up, fool. That's our money.
Pulled a little string real quick, like, oh shit. Thought I was supposed to do that.
All right, let me talk about the wall. All right, the wall.
and then you talk about the wall, and then all these people get distracted with the wall, and then they put all these policies.
You forget about everything else. Yep.
Give me what I need to sign. They start signing all these policies. Everybody's worried about the damn wall.
What was that deal that happened on New Year's Eve with Obama way back?
The Monsanto? Because I think it was Obama that signed the Monsanto.
It was on New Year's Eve. Like people are celebrating. No shit.
I forgot what it was. Yeah, I remember that. I
don't think it was Monsanto. Monsanto happened when...
It was like a martial law.
Was it?
Yeah, something like that. Like cops could now run free. I don't know what the fuck. It was like, I think it was a martial law though. It was like they made it on New Year's Eve, like at 12:36, like New Year's Day or something like that. Like so, it's New Year's, and then like at 12:36,
it became in place.
They he fucking signed it in and shit. Whenever he's fucking already faded and shit. Like, no, I'm signing this in. But they always do that shit. Yeah, they always do that shit. What else you got for me? Give me one more.
You want This one says wrong topic.
The Navy robot, what?
Kill without human control.
So basically, they have a robot submarine. They program it like through algorithms to basically make decisions in whether or not to kill or not.
Is there someone inside of it?
On soldiers or on?
Also, the drone submarine.
It's a drone computer, like
or on people.
No humans controlling it. It's a computer submarine.
This is gonna be, man. I'm telling you.
But it's like a drone submarine that somebody else is controlling somewhere else.
Look right here. Will be equipped with submarine sensors and algorithms to carry out complex missions.
Also, so it's pretty much like a drone.
On their own.
Yeah. So it's a drone. Did things for itself.
But and the purpose of it is for what?
Murder.
To send, it sends a wave out.
Kill. If it locates
and it wakes up
if it
sleepers,
locates, maybe.
Or what does it do,
maybe.
Man? Like,
maybe. It's gonna locate other submarines supposedly and fucking kill everybody.
It goes to what you call those MK whatever.
Is it Boeing?
Ultra.
And it's Boeing, bro. So Boeing doesn't even make fucking airplanes only, bro. That's Boeing.
Boeing's in it.
That's Boeing right there.
Oh yeah, right there.
The Echo Voyager. See, that's how Boeing. I mean. God damn it!
Hey, can you throw my sticker on there too? Hey, like on the bottom, like sick heads right there.
Sponsored by.
Sick heads
That's
to
funny.
make your city sick and want to kill each other.
Shit.
Dude, that's crazy, man. That always like kind of you would see it in those James Bond movies back in the days,
Although,
and now it's like it's kind of weird, man, because people go from one thing to the next. Like
It's always innovating and shit, right?
yeah, the robots, man, they're gonna take over.
it's like this kid was in his, you know, in his basement and had hella guns or whatever, and then now it shoots up. I don't know. That's just it's
Like,
kind of
nah, that seems kind of too
I got one more for
too
y'all.
rigged.
This one's kind of it's from your ex-boss, Casper.
Oh, all right. Speaking of my ex-boss,
turns out
Elon
turns out
Musk.
Elon's backed out, and yeah, his generator is more what?
So basically, a text generator where you can type in a certain style or whatever topic at the same time, and it can actually make a whole paragraph for you. So you'd be like, talk about this and sound like this, and it'll fucking make it legit.
That's dope. I could go back to school with that.
So Elon Musk is saying it's too dangerous to even run it out right now. So he pulled.
It's
out
more
from
funny
Elon
than
Musk.
dangerous. Yeah, because now you could change people's views easily. Like now you're changing. Because think about it, if you can make something sound hella legit about flat Earth, make flat Earth sound like it's coming from a Stanford fucking study.
Dude, I was almost like 90% convinced with that shit, and I stopped looking.
Yeah, fuck, man, I'm fucking convinced I'm out.
I almost not, and I was like, what I was telling Aaron is, I got pretty much convinced that I don't know what it is now. You know, I ended up with not knowing that if it was. I didn't get convinced that it was flat, but now I'm questioning what was the shape of it. Then
See, I don't know enough to like say, oh yeah, this is how I'm gonna shut you down, bro. It's fucking, it's round and blah blah, right? I'm not smart enough to do that. But I think the only thing that keeps me like that is there's a lot more smart people who agree with it, who create like the GPS, satellites, fucking spaceships, fucking everything, right? Like you're right. But what I'm saying is, you would have to have all those fucks, every last one of them, be on the same page to say lie.
yeah, but they're like you said, they're smart.
Oh yeah.
So if the dude that's cutting their checks says lie,
Yeah, but yeah,
don't
true.
say, don't say the truth.
But that's still a lot. That's still like more than 1,000, more than 200, more than a lot. That's thousands of people that you have to say lie, and knowing that we're so fucking, the humans are so corrupted that you're gonna be like, someone's gonna say something.
But back in the day, the world was different. Remember, like
Well, when they thought
there was a bunch of motherfuckers that thought it was flat, and then later on, if the dude that was trying to tell them it was round, they're like, "Nah, man, you know this and that." Powers that be told them it's flat. You know what I mean? So what if it changed? But then again, you ask yourself, like, what's the purpose of lying, right?
On that one, yeah, on that one, I would be like, "What's the fuck? What is the
What's
purpose?"
the purpose?
Well, because and that goes into more of a Bible thing, I think, because it has to do more with religion too. The flat Earth, because I think on the Bible it says the Earth was only made at a certain amount.
It's from David Marley.
The Earth was flat. If you went too far, you would fall off. Now the Earth is round. The shape has changed again. Everybody won't start laughing. Everybody would start laughing.
Everybody would start laughing.
Yeah, well, because everything changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the more I dug into it, they were like, you know, you get into these little forums and you ask questions, and I was like, what's the purpose? So what's the purpose of lying? You know, that if the Earth is flat, so what? You know, if the Earth is round, so what? You know,
why?
It doesn't affect me or nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then this dude responded and sent me some links, and I started looking at all this stuff, and he was saying that there's an outer ring, the Earth that we know that supposedly is flat, and outside the ring, there's more. There's more land. So the Earth is flat, but we live in the middle. And I was like, what the hell? That's when I was like, dude.
Oh, come out.
I was like, dude, this was fun while it lasted. I was like,
yeah, see, they kind of lost me on that one, because that means
I got it. I was like, man, the only way I'm gonna know is if one day I get a chance to
actually go out there.
Yeah, go out there and look.
I mean, so there's so many. I mean, how many people like? Why can't you do that now? Because they say, oh, they stop you from going if you go to like there's an ice wall. Well, yeah, but I don't think
Well,
it's
there was a
both
dude.
ways.
Well, one of those links that he sent me, there was a dude that actually, because if you think about everybody that flew around the world, can't be found, right? Or they died or something like
Oh,
that.
what happened?
Like everybody that did the whole flight around the world,
Around the world.
like
Um,
nobody's survived, right?
What's it
Nobody's
called?
ever.
Who's that?
I don't know.
The
No,
girl
that's Amelia
Amelia,
Earhart.
she flew around the world, right?
Yeah, but she died, I think, on the way back or some shit.
Yeah, so she never
Yeah,
made it.
but I'm pretty sure there is people who made it around the world. I'm almost
I
positive.
just can't find anybody. The only dude that comes out on a show on there that's black and white, he's on a talk show, like one of those talk shows like we have now, and he actually says he flew. How it is right here,
Hmm.
he flew and he thought he was on this part, but it was a lot bigger, and then he realized he was on this side,
Mm.
and that there's another more land over here on this side. And
And
he
what
was talking about it in the talk show, but then they like,
see, but
like
my question would be, so you just decided to come back because it was too far for you, or
I don't know what happened with him, but he was the only dude that like
yeah,
supposedly
see,
made it back.
yeah.
But nobody else has ever made it back, and I'm like,
See, for me, what gets to me though is that this is remember we're talking about like when there's a good system and people take advantage of it and fuck shit up.
yeah,
All right, this to me is the conspiracy fuck up.
yeah,
Right, there's so much conspiracies. There's legitimately like presidents fucking raping 12-year-olds and fucking and royal people fucking this and that and they're actually planning martial law and they're making human hybrid fucking half animal half human shit in labs, and then there's a bunch of shit going on and you want to talk about how the world's flat. Like
hmm
that's the kind of shit that makes people, well, fuck, nothing's real then. Conspiracies are stupid.
that's the
You
thing.
shut down everything now.
Well, that's the thing. The system was able to make that word, like if you know this dude, was an educated guy, smart, everything, but as soon as they tell you he's a conspiracy theorist,
Shut them down.
you're like,
Yeah,
dude, I
they
don't
brought
believe,
that up
I
with
don't believe
Kennedy.
nothing that he
Yeah, they brought the
says.
conspiracy word came up with Kennedy. Because Kennedy was the highest profile fucking conspiracy. They are kind of obvious that it didn't happen the way it did. So they basically said if anybody brings it up, that you call them a conspiracy theory. Like that's a conspiracy.
Yeah, that
So now
dumps him down right away.
anything that you compare anything like now if you say that's a conspiracy, you're related to 9/11, flat Earth, fucking and half lizard. Like you know what I mean? that's you and shit. Like that's what.
Yeah, hey, go up.
You get fucking tagged.
Yeah, they talk about that's just weird right there. Go, keep going up. Where that has that picture of the thing. The what's it called? It was just there. The firmament. There it goes, right there.
Which one?
That right there.
The dome, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
See,
Yeah, man, this
drop
stuff is
3 seconds.
crazy.
See, but a lot of this has to do with the Bible. So that's why a lot of people go into that's why a lot of people shut off of it from this because it has to do a lot with the Bible of it too.
Mhm.
Because the Bible says that the earth was basically created for humans and for the humankind and there's only a certain amount of time. But then scientists go, well, fuck, it doesn't really correlate because rock samples say this was fucking made like 300,000 years ago and shit. So what, blah blah. And then the conspiracy, well, you're not smart enough to be a scientist, so how do you know they're telling the truth? So it turns into like, well, fuck, who do you believe? The scientist the scientist who gave me Wi-Fi, or the guy telling me,
and that's
fuck
what
you.
and that's the bottom line, dude. It comes
Yeah,
out
like,
to
who do you
whatever
believe?
you believe.
Yeah,
It's whatever. It's whatever you believe, man.
Yeah.
It's like if you choose to believe that, because you can even take that to religion.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm
to
saying?
anything,
If you want
to
believe
anything,
that,
bro.
you
To
believe
fucking politics,
Yeah.
to anything, you really can.
That's just crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's just fucking crazy. There's also a theory of a hollow Earth theory, right?
Yeah, there's a whole
Oh, yeah.
planet inside and shit. Lizard people
you
inside.
Ever seen the time machine? Remember those fucking
The lizard people.
they're kind of
The lizard people inside and shit.
That Will Ferrell movie, or who was it?
That one too. That one too.
Was it Will Ferrell, or it was
That was the end of
Jack
time, no?
Black or something like that?
No, it's the Will Ferrell one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There's a different one though. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
There's just different fucking theories on that, I guess. Hollow Earth.
I just think there's so much stuff out there to, to distract you, show you the little shiny thing, and
Yeah.
throw you off. If you're on the right track for something,
Throw the
which is to improve yourself to get yourself in a
At
better
the end
place.
of the day, yeah.
At the end of the day, you're getting yourself out of working at McDonald's and actually maybe get in a position where you're a doctor or lawyer.
Where you could do something.
It's like, hurry up and get that motherfucker
Yeah,
right
it's true. It's true, man.
there. Yeah.
Well, shit, it was fucking good having you on, brother, man.
Dude, it
Fucking
was
let,
dope, man.
let
Thank you
everybody
for
know where they
having
can
me.
reach you at, dude. Fucking.
So you guys hit me up on Instagram at Sickheads, SICKHEADZ with the Z. And my Facebook is LOKO, LOKO, Sickheads, SICKHEADZ too also. Um,
You got any
my
projects coming out? Anything?
I actually do got some new shit coming out. It's called
Oh,
Ready
there
to
it is.
Get
There it is.
Paid. This is all produced by Gendor, just the beats.
Yeah, listen to me. Shit is sick. That was dope. That
Yeah.
was dope. Yeah.
Oh, you got a chance to peep
Yeah,
them
I was
out.
peeping that shit. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
dope.
man. So we've been having this for, I think we started maybe like 4 or 5 years ago with this thing, and we finished it, got mastered, got mixed out, everything's ready to go, and then we just kind of just been waiting for the right time, and
Oh shit!
and
Ready to get
it's
paid.
coming, yeah.
Well, shit, when you drop it, bro, fucking come back on.
Yeah, no, definitely.
We'll fucking do it.
Hopefully, folks dig it. It's definitely different, little bit different on the production side. Um, with Gendor's flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like my rhymes and the lyrics and stuff like that, coming through with that whole Spanish and English. Some songs are all in English, some are all in Spanish.
Nice.
You know what I mean? A little bit of everything.
That's really big right now. I think the whole that crossover shit. I think it's really.
Yeah, man.
It's coming out.
And some people do things to hit different markets. I always did it in English. I always rapped in English, but my parents always had a hard time trying to figure out what I was saying. And
So
one
give
day
'em a
I
little
decided
taste.
one day I decided to just do one in Spanish.
Give them a little taste.
But I didn't know it sounded cool or not or whatever, and I just did it. And after that, I was like, damn, shit. Sometimes I run out of shit to say in English, and I start learning Spanish. You know what I mean? So
Especially
it's definitely fun. And I do have an album that I dropped a few years ago. I think like 2 years ago. It's on sickheads.bandcamp.com, and that one's available and it's out right now. You can stream it on Bandcamp. You peep it out. If you want to support, by all means, man, just download it.
Pay the man.
You know what I mean? And stream it, man. Check it out. Hopefully y'all feel the music. You guys dig the lyrics and stuff like that, man. And the album was actually still, we kept it within the group, all produced by Doobie Doobs.
Oh, okay. What's up?
It's called Spit and Dirt. And Spit and Dirt is the new label that I'm basically coming off. So if you guys get a chance, peep it out. It's on Bandcamp. It's called Spit and Dirt. And it's sick.
Yeah, it's sick. It's dope.
Yeah, man. So it's got like 12 tracks on it and stuff like that.
Fuck yeah,
and pretty
brother,
soon,
man.
Real quick, what does Spit and Dirt means?
Spit and Dirt. It's the name of the label.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I wasn't coming out with any like like a record label or anything like that. So I was just a writer. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just Spit and Dirt music, and now it's entertainment. And basically, I was trying to think of a name for it. Something we can the sick kids can have a home at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come from somewhere.
A platform.
And I kept walking back and forth, man. Like when I'm trying to think of a name or think of something, right? And I was just like, I wrote a list of what I try to do with my music. With my music, I always try to
Spitting and it's dirty.
To wake up people. You know what I'm saying? To give them sight. There's so many things that are out there that are in front of our face, but we just don't have the sight to see it. And sometimes you gotta close your eyes to see them. And that's what I hope to do with my lyrics and my music. And I kept walking back and forth, and my mom, she's very religious. She had the Bible open like always, you know. And I kept walking back and forth to the garage. Like that time, the studio was in the garage, and then every time I made it to the garage, I forget what I was there for. I don't know if that ever happened to you guys.
All the
You
time.
know, you get up and like, what the fuck did I get up for, right? And then finally, after the fifth time, I walk back and I look at the Bible that's open and I'm like, look. And then I see a picture of Jesus with some dude on the floor, right? And he has his hand over his face. And then on the bottom it says that I just read this is where Jesus mixed his saliva with dirt and created the mud to give him sight. So that's how when I spit,
spitting dirt.
I try to mix it with dirt now, so to give people sight, you know.
That's what's up.
With each
I
rhyme,
like
give
it.
sight to the blind.
Yeah,
And with a microphone, lead the lost home. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
And I'm not
dude.
religious, man. Don't get it twisted, man. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's sick, bro. I fucking like it.
You know,
Definitely gonna
and
peep that shit out.
also if you guys want to ever like watch movies or whatever, I do have stuff that's been like released through BMI Publishing, and it's been used. I have music that's been used on like TV shows from like I think it was called Superstore, that Black Jesus, a TV show called Black Jesus, Superstore. You guys can hear some of my music on the TV show, The Bridge. Oh, actually, the bridge got canceled before it came out.
She's still on there.
But they used it. They used it on a couple other shows on Netflix. What's oh yeah, it was in that movie Puerto Ricans in Paris.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but I heard it.
With that dude Pachangas, you know that dude Pachangas comes out in it. That's actually the best feature they ever done, man.
On that one.
Yeah, because you could tell they actually heard the lyrics.
What it actually is.
Yeah, and it was that one was scored by I think by Pitbull or something like that, and then I got stuff from other TV shows, you know, and then a bunch of other networks that use it outside the country, from like New Zealand to Mexico, all over, man. The publishing for all the folks that are trying to do music is not just about releasing albums and stuff like that. Publishing shit, you know, there's a whole hustle that nobody even knows about. You know what I mean? The royalties are small, but when they add up, they add up.
It's fucking there, you know, bro. I mean? Something 10 cents is better than no cents.
I just wanted to go down as an official songwriter.
Nah, that's cool, man. Shit, I can find you on fucking movies. I'm like, that's what the fuck, my boy.
Yeah, this your boy, local boy from around here, man. So
shit. You know all right, local. Good shit, my man.
Thanks a lot, brother. Thank you for
coming on, brother. Cut and print. Cut and print.